again.
You have to clip this.
Yeah.
Oh wait, why you do it like this?
Because if I try to plug it in, then
This is face track. One day we'll have a built-in studio. It's also much easier if you have a setting at home.
Yeah, well,
You know, like this. That's how people live stream. Then you just sit in front, put all the power on,
done.
Famos.
Okay, I think we can start the video, right?
How's the screen here? The main recording?
Good. Do you want me to play the clips?
No, I'll tell you when. It's probably a long ass monologue before we play any clips.
Okay.
Oh, hay fever to the max.
Meaning?
Today, hay fever is to the max. You know, hay fever?
Hay fever.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so can I start it?
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Not comfortable. All right. What is up, you guys? Welcome to a long-awaited after-work yappings. It's been how many months? I don't even know.
1.
How do you know it's 1 month?
I don't know.
You didn't keep track. What was the last time we did this?
Last time we did this,
I don't even
probably
recall.
3 weeks ago, I think.
3?
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago.
Did we do one stream before Carnival?
Yeah.
That week of Carnival?
No, before Carnival, I think.
All right. But this stream today is gonna be no other than the long-awaited red pill topic. And as we were doing this research, I came back to me why we, didn't talk about this earlier, because it's obviously one of the subjects I know a lot about, did a lot of research on, and I think subconsciously I already knew, like, if we're gonna start down this rabbit hole, there's no return, and we're gonna need way more streams than just the one off, because it's too elaborate of a topic and obviously very current of topic to just be finished in 2 hours, because we can't. It's too much. I'm not saying that we are gonna do this every single week or it's gonna be a more frequent one, but it's definitely something that need more continuation. And I told Balint even, like, we maybe do a bi-weekly stream or a monthly stream regarding this topic. Obviously, we're gonna dive in other topics as well. We have a nice subject prepared for you guys tomorrow if nothing crazy happened to Balint or me, that we don't get kidnapped or something. Then we'll have a very, because I think after a while, a couple of those streams, I had to really find structure, and just randomly selecting stuff was kind of tiring. So for those who follow us already know we have the marketing stream. We're gonna do this still. It has a little break for now, but we're gonna continue because we are waiting for a good way to clip these streams into smaller clips and into longer topic clips. And I think we found a nice way to do it. So now we can continue on the marketing stream. So that's not gonna change. We are gonna do still the Dutch streams. Obviously, that one is usually in the afternoon, and we're gonna pick that up also very soon because our new intern has proven to be, in that sense, she knows how to clip already a little bit. So that will just grow to be more efficient. And then these streams we do, together with Balint, is more a high IQ stream, as I call it. Not to diss the female gender already, but just kidding.
Yo, that's crazy.
No, but I think Balint has more curiosity towards these topics than the ladies we have in the team. Because every time we do these more philosophical, psychological streams, they are like, what the fuck are you talking about? I have to cuss less. I figured that YouTube is censoring a lot of cussing. You know that? I didn't know that.
Is it?
In my mind, it is all open, all language, all vocab. There is a lot of words that are still banned to the day of today, 2026. So we'll have to see, because YouTube is the biggest platform out there. But since I'm such a small creator, doesn't really matter where I stream live to gain audience. So then there are alternative platforms like Kick, not Twitch, because that's also very much censored. So Kick, Rumble, these are platforms that I might maybe in the future start just stream from there, because then you don't have to censor yourself. There you can literally say everything and everything, anything and everything. So there is no censor. We can say what we think, what we like, without being penalized by just saying some words. Regarding this episode, I think the beginning part will be just me giving disclaimers, because in any case of objective study, we always need our theoretical framework, methodology. For those who did some thesis work or some data research, they know the steps. Nothing different here. I would like firstly give my, let's say, definitions, and we'll use AI to get us the latest stat or the most current information, and basically give the framework before we dive in the subjects. So now, why on earth would we pick up this subject now? Because in the past few months, I'm not sure if you have seen some viral clips.
Of course, yes.
On Red Pill, like every other day we see like a YouTube clip like men have given up on dating. Incel is more a pandemic, or a recent article, I think from New York Times, I don't know which paper, but they have now single mixers where the females have to pay tickets of $100 to enter, in like how the tables have turned. And then no guys show up. That's the funny thing, they left it out. But none of the guys gave up, came through to that event, the mixer event, because they thought it was useless, and basically, again, the same team, they gave up. Then, obviously, Clavicular is going viral with his looks maxing, and he was giving Larry Wills and his wife some couple counseling. I'm not sure what that stream was about, but then if you need a 21-year-old, I don't know, how old is he, 22? I don't know.
Like 24, I think.
If you need a 24-year-old guy to give Larry Wills like 30-something, 35, I can look it up, but you can look it up.
Clavicular 20.
Yeah.
And Larry Wheels is 31.
Yeah, so if you need early 30 people to get counsel for someone that's 20, somewhere there's a disconnect, right? So that when I saw that stream, like, wait, why is he the one being the authoritarian on, well, obviously, most things usually are clickbait and maybe it's a setup, but there were certain moments in the stream that you look at the stream like, yo, this is like kind of real. Because the way she's responding, and then expression on his face, it's like, no way you stage this, right? It's the same when the Dean, what's the guy that got smacked in the face, the boxer, yeah. Yeah, you don't stage that. The elbow to the face, you don't stage that. So, but that's beside the point. obviously the topic, it's been something that's been discussed on they call it the manosphere, that left side corner of the internet, or right, it doesn't matter, the some corner, dark side of the internet. It's been discussed on forums, blogs, videos, analyses, workshops. There's a whole industry in there. But this is also as old as still as men. Like, the female gender has always been a paradox, like how do you Pandora's box to those of our gender, the male gender. Nowadays I have to disclaim XY chromosome. Hey, it's fine, you know, if you went from XX to if you are XY, you went a female, you want a female body, hey, do you. But I'm just, okay, for this discussion, see, that's why we need this episode, because I know the internet's forever and people might clip this in 15 years like, bro, you said this and this when you were, I don't know, such and such age. So that's why we need this episode, so we give disclaimers of what we're gonna say and what that regards to my view and observation of the world. But obviously topic, it's been very, how do you say, well, what's the best way to phrase this?
Controversial, exciting.
It is controversial, but it's also, you can see, like, when you don't know this stuff, you live in the matrix, right? You just go off the daily life, the 9 to 5, and the daily grind and interactions, whatever it may be, and whatever comes along the way. So you very much live in a matrix. Eventually, when you learn this stuff and start to study this and more on a psychological way, then it's kind of like you open the Pandora's box and you see what's inside. It's nothing too spectacular, because it is not. But once you know it, and then you can unsee it. So I am not saying that my voice is the end all be all, for sure not. But I am very aware that certain messengers can convey certain messages to certain people in such a way that they understand. And this is something material I wish I knew earlier in my life, because, again, it's always been the Pandora's box. So this is very current. That's why we want to discuss this. And obviously there are certain patterns we recognize in our social interactions, but it's not just what's anecdotal offline, but also what we see online in podcasts, in papers, in works, in studies, podcasts, you name it. There's a bunch of things, a bunch of creators, they talk about this. But to relate back to my situation, because that's why we need this episode, because now so first of all, I'm gonna basically why that relates to me, my interest. Then we're gonna give a little bit, again, the disclaimers, or more on terminology, which vantage point we're gonna take. So everything we're gonna say, and basically my observations, and not only anecdotal, but then from studies and what I've seen online, and that's basically a compoundment of stuff. It's gonna be objective, and we try to say it as much in generalities as possible. So people are not like, hey, I know this couple, they are like blah, 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 together since they were 14. Or my cousin, he's always had no trouble getting girls. Whatever. We're gonna speak in generalities, so to the majority of people. And now it's already one of those things that we're gonna dive those in deeper. I'm not sure how your experience is, but when you communicate to females, everything is interpreted from the I lens. What does that mean? If it concerns them, they hear you and they try to give you whatever they take, but always anecdote and what concerns me. If you try to communicate with them or debate or talk with them in generalities, most girls have a problem with. Usually they can, but then I'm gonna dive in again deeper, because a lot of things, it's, first of all, it's hormonally regulated. Another thing is IQ regulated. And that component is too much, it's kind of under, how do you say, discussed. everyone's talking about evolutionary psychology. They have like dominance mating strategy. A lot of theories they throw around. Somehow, some way, they do not combine the IQ level of male or female, said female and male, and then that's intertwined with the hormonal level of whatever estrogen or testosterone that person has in their body. So I would like, and that's basically the base of these streams, is that during the stream, me, as well with Balint, we try to get some sense of the topic we're gonna discuss. So today it's gonna be red pill, tomorrow it's gonna be about meritocracy and conscientiousness. But in no way are we trying to say, hey, this is our definition and this is the end all be all and that's how it is. For us, it's basically, we're gonna discuss a bunch of tangents, subcategories within a bigger theme, and then may try to make the best sense of what we can with the given information we have in the current setting, in the current age of living that we are in. Nowadays, we live in February 2026, and this might be different in 2 years or a year time or 6 months even, because the way the social dynamics are growing, new behaviors are born and taught and learned every single month. So for sure, maybe in half a year we look at this different and people are like celebrating and old men are getting laid. Who knows? That glorious day will come, you know? You never know. You never know, man. Might be like some crazy pandemic or something and, you know, like all girls wake up like, you know what? Let's give all guys in existence equal opportunity.
Equal blowjobs.
Equal blowjobs, you know, like you get a blow, you get. But you never know. So that's basically what we try to do in our best estimate. Then, why do we think I can speak on this? Well, first of all, I'm a guy living in a guy's world, which that's already one of the first, that's a fact. Guys live a different life than girls. Everyone talks about this. Girls don't live on easy mode, guys don't live on hard mode, right? Then, as a short Asian guy, I live on hard mode, within the hard mode, the hardest mode, right? So if someone can speak on this, and I live to see another day, and sling some pussies along the way, you know, I can speak on this because I've been through the trial and tribulations, and gathered information enough, and this is how my anecdotal information gathering helps. So in my life, I've been lucky enough to be able to, I'm gonna walk you guys all through my teenage years, whatever, but this is how I gather the information. So I've been lucky enough to come across enough females and attractive females and have in-depth conversation with them and basically been in their close proximity in many, many, many situations. Often when I go to parties and I have 3 girls with me, they are the hottest in the club. So then I have like behind the screen BTS of them, how they behave, how they talk about guys, how they act around certain guys. And the same in the work that I do. I'm fortunate enough that I just basically sit in their local room and hear their talks. And we all know the guys that are watching, and usually I think in this room, probably in my audience, gonna be just male. But for the very few females, because they do come to me for advice, you know, like some even come to introduce their new boyfriend, first dates, whatever, because I am the unk on the block, and they just want to know, am I the side hoe or am I main bitch, or is this guy a loser or is this guy a winner? So I can make a quick estimate from like what I see. And it's usually a good guesstimation because it's based on data and patterns and, you know, trend recognition. If I am being told something that I'm good at is curating. It could be curating of the right music list, curating of my exam materials, but also curating, so basically observing a certain trend or the data gathering, distill it together, and then do this multiple times, across time, across venues, across locations, and then to distill a certain, well, conclusions that might or might not be true, but usually, and I test this, so my theories, I always test them, it's proven to be true. So that is one. The second thing, at this point, I think, because like wine drinking, because they tell you, if you want to understand wine, let's say red wine, for the old world, you have to at least have tasted and drunk 3,000 cups. Those who are alcoholics, they're like, yes, celebration. But there is some truth in this, because after a certain exposure of certain things and enough, how do you say, productive hours spent on studying set subject, you somewhat become an expert, or at least someone that's more knowledgeable than the average person who does not spend set time on this topic. So I can safely say that I have had like maybe 5,000, 6,000 meaningful conversations with attractive females across my lifetime, at least. So it's not just like, hi, hello, how are you, bye-bye. No. I've been in a close proximity, dealt with them, dated them, seen how they behave, what they talk about, been in their locker room, right, quote unquote. Because they do share everything with me, so I hear how they behave towards each other, how they behave towards the opposite sex, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So you can see this stream as kind of my findings, if you will. If you're a student and you're in one of the final years, you have to write your thesis. You always start with the like problem statement, and then these are like sub questions, blah blah blah. So now I think with these streams, I've tried to find, so basically with this initial stream, my initial findings up until now, because obviously things change, but some things never change. And that's why it's so important to point these things out, so people do not walk in a trap and then just basically mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically destroy themselves. Because that's one thing you really hate. Because starting out in this arena or battleground, it does look like the odds are against you. And if you're Gen Z, I really feel bad for you, because through the advancement of internet and media, it's been unfair. Like, let's say in my years when I was 18, what is my battleground? So so for those who don't know, I'm old, ancient. I can count from a time there was no internet.
Unk.
No internet. Like, what? How'd you guys live? Yeah, we lived. How'd you guys date? How do you talk to girls? Yeah, we had to go to girls and talk to girls. But coming back to this arena thing, who were my contenders? They're usually people in the physical proximity of where we are. Because there's no way in hell how you otherwise could convey or basically, for girls, market themselves. So whether you are female or a male, you are basically stuck with whatever is your proximity. Well, some people might be a little bit adventurous and creative, and they expand this proximity, right? You can like travel to another city, you can travel to another country, but let's be honest, girls usually don't do that, so this tactic is usually left to the devices of guys. In nowadays term, they call them passport bros. But in my time, they did that too. But then no way in hell people would know you had like a honey in a different city, how they say in Netherlands. Even Netherlands, they have a saying, you know that? Different honey at different city, there's a saying in the Netherlands.
Well,
yeah. They call it honey at different city. But see, that's even in cultural, even the Dutch culture, there is some saying like this. But regarding my battle arena, who are my contenders? Well, you can kind of count them on a few hands. It's not that much, because it's whatever she's exposed to or whatever all the girls are exposed to. So usually it's like 1, 2, 3 chats or times, right? So although the odds are stacked against me, I have a chance. In the sense of there are so many girls, they also realize, let's say this time, and we come from the village of Breda, you know, like just Satan's party bus. We go back in time, right? We live now in 2005. Well, there's
when
the internet.
I was born.
When was the internet on
1990 something.
But Facebook, when did
Facebook
come out? Because that's when, well, Instagram was kind of how it started. So I think 2010, 2009. 2009 October. Because
Facebook 2004 release.
yeah, but I mean EU.
2005.
EU.
What?
Facebook. I mean, and Instagram. Because kind of the game has
2010.
been, huh?
2010.
Yeah,
Instagram.
2010. Yeah, so the game has been rigged because of those dating apps, social media, whatever. But coming back to the example, let's say we live in 2005, this exact location, right? This was Brooklyn, like a nacho cocktail bar, very trending. My contenders in my arena will be respectively, well, basically guys my age and then older. Let's say I'm 18 and 18 and older. I'm competing against these guys, but that's these guys that the girls realistically can come in contact with, right? Because let's be honest, they have it easy, so people come to them. So why would they get to another location or proximity if they already have so many eligible bachelors who are vying for their attention? Ever since they are like, I don't know. I'm gonna talk about this later a little bit too. When they hit puberty. So it's difficult, but not like in super hard mode, right? Because then, let's say all the 8s or 9s, like 30 of them are dating one guy, but then the 6-7s, they get that, hey, these girls are dating him, I'm gonna give it a chance, but then I also are aware of, if I'm gonna wait forever, there is only enough, there are only so few of those chats and Tyrones to go about, you know?
Yeah.
So then, an average guy at least has a chance. The average guy will at least get a date. And the girls will show up, because how else would they gonna be, are they going to be exposed by the opposite gender? But nowadays, the game is kind of rigged, as they say it, and it's kind of stacked against you. But coming back to why I think I have somewhat of a better knowledge than an average guy, because, well, talked about close proximity, the 3,000 convos, but it's like way more. I've had the luck to be interacting with a lot of attractive girls, and it just increases over time. And we're gonna talk about this too, how you make basically, I haven't read the book, Dan Brazilian talks about this in the book, The Setup. I've been unconsciously doing this somehow, some way, kinda in my way, but I had no idea. And then it was when I read the book, like, oh shit, is this what they call it? We're gonna talk about this later. No, I literally, like for me, certain things like, whoa, what the fuck? How is this a thing? If I had known this earlier, you know, we'll be further along the way. We'll be able to help more guys. Because I think, and I know when I was younger, I always wanted to become some kind of influencer. And when you're selecting your niche, you're trying to focus what you're gonna do, right? You're gonna be someone that's into food, fitness, travel, lifestyle, someone that just makes swords or builds boats, toy boats, whatever it may be. For me, it was just basically how can I help enough guys so their life's a little bit easier and they have certain knowledge beforehand, so that they don't have to go through the hardship and the tough road. Because growing up, I say me and my friends from basically the hood, because we had nobody. None of our parents were educated, they had no education, they came here with nothing, basically dirt poor. So basically when we had to choose in our education, we had nobody to ask for advice. Like, what do you do? How do you do it? Which direction? Do I go for internship? Don't I go? Which program is good? Which education gives you the best chance at a certain job? You name it. For us, everything was, I'm gonna refer to a lot of gaming terms because I think it's gonna be males watching this anyway, so they'll understand. So it's like you are walking in this shadowed map and then you only see just the little circle, that's you, and no further. Unless you already explored that part of the map and then you see it, but then nothing else, because there was nobody. There was no uncle, there was no mentor, there was no coach. None of us knew better because we're the same age. And we just had to try to plow through, and then hopefully we end up on the right side of things and make something of ourselves and live somewhat of a decent job, decent life that we, you know, can make a comfortable living and people around us are good, right? But would I have had the opportunity in the, let's say, the internet, I for sure would have looked this up way earlier. Because trust me, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but it's definitely more comfortable if you see someone fall down a couple of times in a way how he bicycles, and you then hop on the same bicycle, then you kind of know like, hey, this is not the way to bicycle it, and this is not the route to take it, if I don't want to injure myself. Now I get it. Some people might be like, trust the process. This is like how you build yourself. True. I am not saying don't try. Obviously, duh. Because this is not something you know solidly, like, oh, I know now this information in theory, so I already unlocked the mastery. Doesn't work like this. That's why, you know, taste it. That's why I gave the analogy. Taste 3,000 glasses of red wine to know the differences between red wines. Same here. For sure, you should have at least 10,000 unique, deep conversation with attractive girls to eventually then somewhat get in the zone of understanding. I'm saying this with enough caveat of in the zone of, because understanding them, you will never fully. Never. No guy on earth can claim that they 100% understand. There's no way. It's the same way that they don't understand us. And now we're gonna dive in a little bit more into the biology, because I'm gonna ask AI, because I've never done this. So this is nice. Because biologically we are way different. We are wired way different. Where our attraction triggers are different. Our bonding triggers are different. Other things are different. Our meaning in life, our meaning in society, our function together, everything is different. Nothing is aligned. Now, I get it. A lot of girls are like, oh, but what, you're equal as humans. Yes, nobody is debating that. Everyone is equal in their life human aspect. But there is no equality in a sense of how the markup is. Let's say if it's all different blocks of Lego. Another set of, I wouldn't even say Legos. It could be just a whole different building material. Different building blocks, but then the same mass. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. But coming back to the conversation, deep knowledge, and then they share everything. Then I have always been fascinated for human psychology, male or female. Everybody was just kicking around, making fun during break. I was analyzing people. I know I was like the weird kid. But also earlier I already knew like, hey, I'm a good connector. Right? So, and maybe I can dive into this already, like, because why not just dive in? Always say yes to invitations when girls are gathering, because if you're social enough, you'll pass as the he's cool guy. Not I want to fuck him guy, you're not there yet, maybe you're already there. But I'm talking to in generality. So we're not talking about, we're gonna exclude a certain okay, disclaimer number one. We're gonna talk in generality, it's just the average guy. And then we're gonna talk about the average girl. Those people are between 4, 5, and 6. That's the average people. Nobody really is in the 8 or 9, 10.
In the ELO ranking system, right?
Huh?
In the ELO ranking
What's
system.
that?
Like from 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Like
Looks only.
Looks only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4, 5, 6. Average. Well, it's actually 6 and below. Let's just say 6 and below. For guys. Girls, same thing. Let's say 6 and below. Well, you can obviously take this advice even if you're 8. It's just advice. Or findings, kind of more of finding than advice. I'm not gonna advise you shit. You're gonna do whatever you wanna do anyway. So, well, then I'm just gonna give you some warning signs to look out for, red flags to look out for, green flags to look out for, male or female. But from now on, we're just gonna talk in generalities. 6 and below for guys, girls, yeah, whatever. Listen or don't listen. We don't mind, because most people are really stubborn. So even for guys, they don't like, what do you know? It's fine, you know, like, hey, go into the depth of the unknowing and hurt yourself and maybe, you know, injure yourself and then maybe don't come back alive mentally. You know, sure, whatever floats your boat. Do you? We're just gonna give this out. Do with it what you will. But if I tell you that, because again, people have come here, male or female, asking for my opinion, my take, my honest advice, and I just break it down to them. Give them whatever world they live in, because this is really important. What is your worldview, especially for female gender? As for the guys, we usually can think for ourselves when it comes to mating. But for females, it's usually, most of the time, in the confinement of what their social peers and social groups do. And whatever which bubble they live in their worldview. Because that also differs a lot between, well, basically amongst the men, but also amongst the women. Because, let's be honest, a lot of people are delulu, but the female gender way more than guys. We kind of know, you know, like, hey, no girls looking my way, no girls talking to me, I don't get no date, I don't get laid, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, mostly guys get an indication from the society. However, girls usually can live in the Lululand forever. Because now, yeah, I have blue check marks. This guy want to fly me out. This guy want to take me on a date. This guy, you know, like, there's a lot of this. And they do only approach you. I call it, they have a responsive existence. So everything's coming at them. And they just have to see what they catch or don't catch, and they like avoid whatever they want to avoid or don't see it. Whereas we have more a proactive existence. Everything in a guy's life, we have to go and get it. Given that you're not a nepotism baby or a trust fund baby. Again, we're going to talk about average guys, right? So average guys are not that rich, huh?
Yeah, so not trust fund or nepo babies. But also...
In the sense of proactive existence.
Yes.
I'm not saying that there are no outliers. We're not going to talk about outliers. Like, shoot, I know some millionaire kid that kind of is having a best work ethic and they do everything themselves and had to claw it from the mud. Sure, I know them too. But that's not the average person. Let's just stick to the average.
The average person is also not the person who has blue check DMs.
The girls do.
No, an average girl doesn't have.
They have them.
No.
Ask them.
A 6? No.
6? What do you think a 6 is? That's a quite attractive girl.
A 6?
Yeah. 5 is the average, remember? That's the average.
Well, 6 is not way
6 is above average.
Yeah.
So she's quite attractive. She could be the class queen already.
Yeah, but
because if you go to the salary range, it's already, you know, like the social media influencers, the baddies. And then when you go to the age range, that's kind of already top models. And the guys kind of like the Kendall Jenners. Who else? Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba's a 10.
Well, 10 doesn't exist. Then she's like...
She's a 10.
Yeah. Okay, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but...
5 is the average. That's the average, like the average girl.
It should be the average, but societally, it's not... 5 is not the average, right?
It is.
No, the average societally is 6, 7.
By its fact that it's a 5, it's the average.
Yes,
if you think 1 to 10, 5 is average.
Yeah.
So that's your... what's a good example of an average girl? You're basically a class queen. I call them the class queen. So kind of the most attractive girl in your high school from your village. I'm not talking about Miami, because that's different. That is basically ever saturated with beauty, because that's your place, right? For that. Same with Sao Paulo. It's basically, these cities are known to have attractive people because everything is about aesthetics. But I'm talking about the class queen, top tier leader of your high school from your village. You know, kind of the 5. When that 5, well, in your high school, she could be in the eyes of the boys there a 9 or a 10. But take the same girl, put her in she becomes a 4. So, I'm trying to say like 5 is just average.
Yeah, but my problem is with this
Yeah, it's
system.
all very contextual, but thanks to Instagram.
If we look at a mid in the range of 10, then 6.6 is a mid, right?
6.6, it's already really, it's okay, it's above average.
Yeah, but if we talk about average, bad, and good, then average is 5, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But if we talk about mid, good, and bad, then mid is 6.6. Is it's not, I don't know.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say with the 6.6.
So like a bad goes until 3.3, because we have 3 tiers: good, mid, and bad.
You can just say
mid goes up to 6.6.
if you're ugly, you're average, you're pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 3 is kind of ugly,
Yeah.
but not super ugly. Because
Yeah.
even a 1 would get dates, and you know this.
So then, what would you say? What's the percentage of average people, like average-looking people?
That's a 5. That's
what's
the
the
thing of 5.
Yeah, but what's the percentage of the people who are average-looking?
Depends on the city you live in.
Okay, in the world.
Well, everyone hovers around the 5 because that's the 5. Whatever the metric is. And you're going to say, well, through evolution, people become more attractive. Well, it's debatable, depending on what it means to be attraction triggers and features in that set of century and time. But what you find attractive now doesn't mean 300 years ago Berlin would find attractive. What's the thing 10 for you might not be a 10 for 500 years ago Berlin, or 1,000 years ago Berlin, or 500 years later Berlin. We don't know.
Yeah.
But it changes and shifts. But let's just say the time of now, 5. That's average. But coming back, we're not gonna talk about outliers. Obviously, that's a whole thing. We are gonna talk about it, but it's not just. We are basically not gonna take their experience into account because it's above average. That's an outlier, right? We are gonna discuss it, how their existence might be. I get a sense because that's what I get from them. But we're giving the disclaimers now. So the average, talking in generalities, we're gonna exclude like famous people. Well, that's basically the outliers. Famous people, athletes, rappers, drug dealers, all different categories. So when we speak, so we are talking about who we are gonna who can you make use of this. These people, maybe they wanna use this information. I don't know. I don't care. But let's just say this is more targeted to the experience of the average guy. Coming back to basically topic at hand. Okay, so we went all over the place already. But this is gonna be how it's gonna be because. Okay, so ever since I was young, I was always fascinated with human. And another thing I knew about myself is that I was really having a keen eye on aesthetics. It amuses me to no end to look at a certain beautiful object. And then in that case, in our discussion subject, am I saying that I'm asexual and I don't feel arousal if I see a naked girl of my preference? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm now at this point in my life, and I think also before that, I'm very much fine by just in the proximity, and I'm gonna talk about this too. This is basically the benefits of having attractive female friends. Gonna talk about this later. But I'm perfectly fine to be in their company and a social setting or go to events or whatever in their company. So because there is something, and apparently there are studies that they raise our testosterone levels. I didn't even know. Did you know?
Just being around them?
Yep.
Possible, yeah.
No, I didn't know. So that's the thing. Didn't know. That was what I'm gonna say. Try to be friends as much as you can. So I always had no problem befriending females because I was the connector. I figured out early in my life that means I was that guy that was friends with the nerds, the one that being teased, and the one that did the teasing. And then the, how do you say, the less appealing girls and the most attractive girls. I was that connective guy. By doing so, I somehow got myself in a category of like his school, right? I talked about this just in a moment ago. His school, so basically they all like gladly invite you to certain things where there's only girls. And I picked this up early on, so at that point it wasn't getting late, guys, late bloomer. They're just getting in the room. And then as I grow older and got a car, this expanded through different cities, right? Again, no internet, no social media, so I had to get there. But also the girls had to get there, so we were in the same boat. And it quickly expanded, right? Because I always, like the first thing, advice, kind of advice. Always say yes when girls invite you to stuff, because once you're in your cool thing, just go there. Most of the time, there's only girls there, maybe with another guy. But then somehow, some way, you have to, and this is just networking, so that's not only girls, but it's networking. In every social construct, there are certain group leaders, opinion leaders. Whether it's gonna be a social dynamic of only girls, only guys, male and females. In all settings, there are certain opinion leaders, group leaders, you call them. So basically, what do I mean by these people? What they say goes. So let's say you are at the beach. There is a McDonald's across the beach. And y'all want to have some chicken nuggets. This is a real story, by the way. And let's say that group didn't. So I didn't know them, right? So we were all there hanging around me. I just knew one girl and one guy and none of the others. This one girl, this little girl, she was the tiniest girl of the whole group. Like, but she was the most attractive, but very tiny. She's like, hey guys, we're not gonna eat at that McDonald's. By the way, I was 16. We're not gonna eat at that McDonald's. We're gonna travel out, get our asses back to, is it tracking me? Oh, it stopped tracking.
It's probably stopped like a few seconds ago.
Yeah. She said, and I gave this anecdotal story already, but in this context, very relevant. She said, we're going to move our ass back to the city center, which was 30 minutes with the tram, when there was a demand there. Because I don't know why her argumentation was, like maybe the oil is different, which can't be true, but she convinced us all. Yes, the whole group, because she said so and convinced us, moved our asses to the city center McDonald's for the same chicken nuggets. Anyways, all of this is to say, every group has their opinion leaders, group leaders, people that call the shots, and people that make the introductions. Your job, if you're like basically thrown in this situation, identify them quick and befriend them quicker. I'm not sure if I did this consciously, unconsciously, probably unconsciously. I was doing this because somehow, some way, I figured a way out in a social context, so I don't feel left out. Maybe because I grew up alone. My parents were never home. I didn't have siblings by then. And you know, I had nothing at home. There was no entertainment, nothing. So basically, I had to find my entertainment. So my existence being proactive. Ever since I was 10, my dad was like, hey, you have 2 hands, 2 legs, go work. Earn your money, earn your living, earn your clothing, earn your food during lunch. So everything, like even the Snicker I got like during lunch, like, oh my God, I feel rich. My first iPod, I was like, whoa. First sneakers, like from Nike or something, I was like, oh my God. You feel like on the top of the world. We'll have a different stream on how you regulate your dopamine spikes and all those kind of things. Whole different topic. I'm gonna talk about why you shouldn't do drugs, kids. But yeah, different topic, different stream. Doesn't matter. So everything was proactive and talking about work. So it's another thing I find quite peculiar. When I was 14, I had to work in Breda. Yes, this city, because I came from Tilburg. In some wok restaurants, back then was kind of buffet and teppanyaki. And you didn't have navigate like Google Maps or nothing. You just have to basically ask your way through to that location. Because there's nobody that told me. My dad knew of a person that worked there. They were certain distance from me and had to find my way there. Anyway, I made my way there. It's kind of in the forest, middle of nowhere. I was 14. As a 14-year-old, you're not really around that many baddies. You might have figured. Were you?
Of course.
I don't know, maybe in Hungary they are like growing up faster or something.
Yeah, I was always around baddies, bro.
Yeah, good for you. So I wasn't. Because that only baddie in my class, she turned baddie from 14 to 15. Have you known a girl that, like, let's say she was kind of invisible, looks like a boy, until certain summer?
Probably.
And then she came back the next summer. Everybody is like, hey, who's this new girl?
Yeah, there's one of that, like
Everyone is in high school, right?
like every class.
Like she
probably.
turned into Sweetie Sweeney, like what the hell, who is she? Yeah. Where did she came from? And then turns out that's the girl all along. You know, like she grown to a woman. Like one summer.
Yeah.
But anyways, nobody's around. Here I am, 14-year-old, go to a restaurant, very big restaurant. Somehow, some way, they have only blondes in the waitressing staff. I didn't know this. I just think that only see Asians.
What do you have? Only?
Blondes.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how
That's how the Netherlands is.
No, that's how I found my taste.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, I was 14, go there, only Asians during the day, and then later the waitressing staff would come because the people work in the kitchen and the waitressing start later. Doesn't matter. I come there, the youngest, the baby, it's cute, blah, blah. I love that shit. And then it was only 16-year-olds treating me amazing because they would cuddle you. Back then, the age restriction was like 16 to go to clubs. Yeah, I know. They would try to snuggle me like into clubs. I don't give a fuck. I looked like 12. But they didn't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. Because back then you could just like smoke in the open, all those things. Good old days. Golden age. So you can imagine my world exploded then already. You're like, whoa, what?
Not just the world.
It exploded because every time I came back to my high school on Monday, it's like,
not this.
Not this again. You know, like I had to wait my whole way until weekend so I can work. That was my thing, is I live for the weekend. But regardless, going back to the groups, spotting the group leaders. Since I got a car, I tapped into this Asian market. Growing up, didn't know any Chinese person, zero. The few I knew were adopted or really hated Chinese people. I don't know why, but they are not from where I'm from. So I knew every single religion and ethnicity growing up, none of the Chinese. So I had no Chinese friends, nobody to relate with. At 18, I got to know a few girls. Very cool, random story, I already told this once. We were walking, me and my best friend, through the city because we just hang around. That's what we do, you know, try to check for chicks. And there was two Asian girls on my peripheral coming towards us. These two girls had the audacity to talk. When we crossed, they like locked eyes. They're like, ni hao. I'm like, bro. Even then, I was like not cocky. I'm like, bro, you say that to me? What the fuck's your problem? Because mind you, I have never been greeted like this. Ever. Remember? No Asian friends. Zero news. And I'm like, huh? And this was back in Tilburg, so it was already really weird. Like two cute Asian girls, my age, kind of. I think at that point they were my age, like exactly 18 or something, or 17. 18, I think. And then, ni hao, blah, blah. Okay. We got to talking. They're like, are you going to Asian party? I'm like, what the fuck's Asian party? What are you talking about? At that point, I only knew Tilburg place. All the clubs, all the cafes, you know, like little gatherings. Everything was Tilburg because I never really ventured outside Tilburg at that point. They're like, nah, you don't know that? What do you know? Which road did you come from? Yes, that saying has been along the vocabulary of everyone a long time. So I'm like, bro, same place you come from, Tilburg, duh. They're like, yeah, well, Asian party is where our people go party, and you only see our people. You will be the outline. So my best friend's Turkish. They were like, he is the outlier. I'm like, huh? Because he's Caucasian. I'm like, really? That thing exists? And then, little Friday come along, we go. At that point, there was like Tokyo Beach. Baya Beach Club in Rotterdam. The entrance was like a beach ball, and the floor was only with sand. All the bartenders, girls were in bikini. Yes, they had boobs. And no, seriously, they were casted. Back then, you can make these things because it was just allowed. There was no wokeness, no, guidelines. And then all the guys were obviously very muscular in their, think of Baywatch, but then in a club, right? I came in there was this balcony, right? I'm like, let's check who's in the facility.
Let's scout.
I go in this place, like this balcony, and you can look over the whole club. The place, by the way, been long gone, unfortunately, because I really love that place. And behold, lo and behold, I only see Asian people. Literally, my world, like, whoa, where have you guys been all my life? Right? Okay, but little bit about Asian people. Segue. If they like you, and then they'll introduce you to literally everyone. But if they don't like you, they'll just ignore you to no end. So basically, kind of an average girl. Anyway, so I got to know these two. They invited me to our lunch with 6 other girls. I got to meet another group leader, if you will. She invited me to another lunch with 10 girls. I met with another one. And lo and behold, when I next threw my birthday party, I could invite 500 Asian girls. It grew exponentially because, like I said, there's just one advice. Take it for what you will. If you find and identify the group leader or opinion, like the one that hosts opinion and just basically makes the plans, your life's gonna be really easy. Because, well, if you are a follower, unlucky for you, but if you are a leader, lucky for you, not everyone can be a leader, so people really would love to follow. A lot of people just don't care. It's like, yeah, whatever you say, whatever you go. So, again, these two existences are kind of comparable to male and female, because one is really reactive. You can imagine if you're in the following role, you just basically react to what the group leader says.
Like a dog.
Well, kinda, right? And it's like, oh, the group is like, oh, we're gonna take shots now. Boom, boom, everyone takes shots. We're gonna move to another club. Everyone goes, another club. We don't like her anymore. She's being outcasted.
Yeah, so like a dog. Sit.
Yeah.
Sits.
Yeah. So the followers are very in a reactive state. The leader, proactive state. So I'm just saying, identify the leaders or opinion takers or whatever you like to call them, the alphas of the group, right, in the wolf pack terms, and befriend them so you already have a leg up. Your life's gonna be easier because most of the time they know the in and out of the social gatherings and what's popping, what's happening. And they get invited to more cool stuff and bigger events. And since you're one of the cooler friends that just get it, because most of the time it's like, he just get it, you just get it, she just get it, right? We all know this town girl who grew up with brothers, played outside soccer in the mud with older boys. She just gets how guys are. She don't like make a scene, make a fuss. Be careful how you talk to me, like set a tone. She just gets it. Same with guys. When you just get it, you get it in those contexts. And then your life is gonna be way easier. And then the door's gonna open. But we digress. So that was the first thing. Just a general, just giveaway. Use it or don't use it, don't care. This works everywhere, every setting. Believe me or don't believe me, but it is like this. In this world, unfortunately, everything is being opened by every door kinda have to be opened by someone else, or you really have to hammer your way through. So
I think for some people this can be hard because some people don't have the social
cues.
Not just the cues, the social like, how do you say it?
Je ne sais quoi.
No, the social skills to to go up to that person who they can
Yeah,
identify.
we're gonna talk about this in other streams.
Okay, but the thing is that
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
You might lack the certain je ne sais quoi, the DNA marker, but it's teachable and it's learnable. Because all to this point, all I have been saying is how to make friends. It has nothing to do how to get laid. So, in theory, well, not in theory, in practice, I had all the abundance in the world, right? Everything is about, because if you listen to these coaches, all those podcasts, master classes, seminars, there's a lot of things. They teach men how to get laid, or get dates, or find a perfect girlfriend. Whatever your perfect life is, I'm not to think that's totally up to the person. Or you like to watch when your wife is interacting with another. Hey, you do you, no diddy. You know, like baby oil, go for it. Do you? I'm just saying. What was I talking about? These things are basically. So they all teach you to have a good top of funnel, so you have a bigger pool to select from, because everything is a numbers game, right? Everything is a number game. Just bet the ball enough times, you'll hit a home run, right? That's what they say. Like training, ball hit. But some guys are like, bro, there is no ball coming my way to hit. So what are you talking about?
make
Right?
the ball.
Huh?
Make the ball.
Make the ball. Well, make the machine that shoots the ball.
Yeah.
That's basically it. That's actually basic it.
Yeah.
Make a whole area of machine shooting multiple balls. But they always tell you like, hey, fix the top funnel, numbers game. You'll like eventually find your perfect partner and she'll like you for you. It's like, no, that don't work. You'll like figure out, especially if you're young, what do you mean? That doesn't work. I am me. You know, like my beak is not get wet. There's like no wet the beak. How they say it in the investor terms. Wet your beak or something, they say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no beaks to be wet. Whatever the term is. So that is total bullshit. Because especially all the girls, you know, I would be so naive to ask my female friends, like, yeah, you know, like, what am I doing wrong? They're like, no, Johnny, you're doing really well. Everything, you just keep on doing what you do. You just haven't met the person yet. You just haven't met your person yet. They always like saying, you know, like, keep on doing what you do. But then, obviously, they complain about their fuckboy, boyfriend, situationship, husband, whatever it may be, right? With me. I get all the dump load. And then at certain point, I started to notice a certain pattern in behavior. Character traits. Like, you're saying this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And they all say the same thing, kind of eventually a few traits, right? They call it the dark triad or something. Jordan Peterson called them the Machiavelli. Wait, let me get AI now, because now it's gonna be AI territory. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. What do you need?
So Jordan B. Peterson talks about 3 dark triad traits in mating. And can you please briefly sum up for us which 3 these are and what they signify?
The 3 dark triad traits are narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Narcissism is characterized by grandiosity and a need for admiration. Machiavellianism reflects manipulation and a focus on self-interest. Psychopathy involves impulsivity and lack of empathy. In mating contexts, they can sometimes be linked to short-term exploitative strategies.
So can you explain in layman terms why females find this so attractive and irresistible?
In simple terms, it's not that these traits are universally attractive. But in certain contexts, like brief flings, traits like confidence, charm, or risk-taking might signal strength or excitement. Basically, these traits can create a short-term allure, even if they're not ideal for long-term relationships.
So what do guys care about? Do we really, in the initial stage, in our younger years, care about like, oh my God, I'm gonna end up with her? No! Our thing is usually spread our seed far and wide. So we only care about the short term. So I started to notice, like, okay, you say this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. He treat me like this, right? He treats me like shit, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, but yet you're still with him. You as in all the girls. And yet you end up with him. And yet you choose to stay, and then from all guys, including your guy friend, you friend zones so perfectly, because I've seen them, I know them, and they do exactly what you complain about. So they do everything right from what you complain about your boyfriend or fuckboy, but they never get a chance. You don't even look at that way. Even if you like your skin cross path, yeah, convulsion. You get a convulsion from like literally the physical contact of that said guy that treats you exactly how you want to be treated. So that eventually I started to notice things. I'm like, okay, what if we flip the script? I'm not saying treat people like shit, but show signs of these traits. Back then, I didn't know these traits were things. I was just like, yo, this is what I see. This is what they complain about, but yet they have success. In my mind, that's success, right? They got laid. Success, success, success. Mind you, I have enough data, but it's not like one anecdotal girl that gave me the inside story. No, all of them did. Because somehow, some way, I've been born, I think, because, and maybe you have the same thing, I think, as well. People just spill shit to you. Even to the day of today, male or female, I just always get the unload, emotional unload. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's your presence, your energy, because that's why I kind of believe in a soul thing, and with different stream, different topic. We talked about this a little bit in our dream sphere, whatever, or souls, whatever. Or aura, we talked about this, right? That in your proximity, people feel safe enough to emotionally dump. Because you have no idea how much information I have on people that their best friends and family don't even know. But I don't even know the person. I just met the person 2 hours ago. But I have always had this. So I had all the information, all like, let's say, it wasn't precisely 500, could be 450, 600, I don't know, bunch of girls. They just tell me shit. Because mind you, I was just in that close proximity. Because every lunch, I was this annoying kid, you know, like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Mind you, there was no social media, or I didn't game, so there was no like LAN party. Well, I gamed, but by that time I didn't game at all anymore because I fucked my finals up by gaming, so I swore it off forever. That's the lore why I don't game anymore, by the way. So my last year, I had to do my finals. My grades were perfect, like 7, well, not perfect, 7, 8, 7, just average 7.
What's the max?
10.
Okay.
And so I was like on my school average perfect, and I had to do the finals here. They call 50%. So from all courses, I fucked up 3, and you can't have 3 below 5 in the Netherlands. Why? I didn't study. Because I was gaming all day, every day. Yeah, I got in a very toxic guild. How do you call them? Guild? Yeah, guild.
Guild?
Yeah, like a group of people that form a group.
Like a clan.
Yeah, very toxic. Because they will cuss you out if you wanted to sleep or wanted to go school. Like, no, motherfucker, sleep is for the weak. You weak? No. You have to stay up. I'm like, but it's 5 a.m. I have to get up in 2 hours. No. Are you weak? You have balls. Like those people. Very toxic. You know, that's what it is. Young people, malleable, we follow. At that point, I was just a follower. What do I know? Some guys were like 40 in my guild. What do I know of life? I was like 17 or something. Like, okay, sure. A Buckdown or whatever the name was. You know, like, it's always the Eastern European or Scandinavian guys, you know, like.
Suka.
Who?
Stay up, Suka.
Yeah. So that's the lore behind why I don't game. But so they would tell me these things, and I figured the trend, and I flipped the script. And once I flipped the script, somehow, some way, things started to work. And I'm gonna bring it all back, and there is not one certain thing that works. And the ultimate advice, and yes, guys, I'm gonna say it, you have to be yourself. I know it's not what you wanna hear. I mean, like, didn't you just say a minute ago, don't be yourself? You had to change. We're gonna talk about this. That's why we're gonna have this stream, so it becomes clear to you, yes, you watching or listening. If all things are considered, understood, and trained, and studied, and then comprehended, curated, trialed out, A/B tested, and all winds down eventually, yes, you just have to be you. In the end, the girls were giving you the right advice all along. In the end, you just have to find your girls, if you like multiple partners. It's not what you want to hear, but we're gonna get there. It's gonna be a long journey, but I would like now just basically to get the caveats out the way, because we're still in the caveat territory. Disclaimers. Let's say we'll ask chat. Hey, are you there?
I'm right here.
Right there. Okay, could you please give us a rundown, biologically speaking, in which areas the male gender is more proficient to the female, and then vice versa, where the female gender is more proficient in operating daily life compared to the male counterparts?
Biologically speaking, on average, males tend to have greater upper body muscle mass, higher aerobic capacity, and faster reaction times in some physical tasks. Females, on average, have advantages in fine motor coordination, verbal fluency, and often greater immune responses. Females also excel in some social cognition tasks, such as reading emotional cues. These patterns reflect averages, not strict rules, as individuals vary greatly.
So given this, could you give me a more substantiated strongman why the females, first of all, need those social cues back in the day in evolutionary psychology, and then regarding the mating strategy of both genders, where they differ and why?
In evolutionary terms, females often had a central role in child rearing and maintaining social bonds within tight-knit groups. Strong social cue reading would help them navigate alliances, detect threats, and ensure cooperation. Key for survival of offspring. Mating strategy differences are shaped by biological investment. Females with pregnancy and longer parental investment historically benefited from selecting partners who signaled commitment, resources, or protection. Males, with less obligatory investment per offspring, could benefit both from seeking multiple mating opportunities and, in some cases, investing selectively in stable partnerships. Thus, females often prioritize cues of reliability or provisioning, while males might balance between short and long-term strategies.
And could you give me a rundown of what the hormones, testosterone, and what's the other one? Oh yeah, estrogen is doing to someone's behavior and thinking and in mating?
Testosterone often promotes traits like competitiveness, risk-taking, and a drive for status, which can influence assertive behaviors in mating contexts. Estrogen is linked to emotional attunement, verbal fluency, and nurturing tendencies. Across mating, testosterone might drive displays of dominance or attraction-seeking behaviors, while estrogen may enhance social bonding, empathy, and sensitivity to relational cues. Both hormones interact with broader contexts, of course.
Then, given all this information, what would you say are the main arguments or main objectives for males to attract females, and then vice versa for females to males, and what they basically look for in the opposite sex?
In broad evolutionary terms, males often aim to signal traits like strength, status, and resource potential, attributes that may indicate they can provide or protect. Females often seek cues of reliability, emotional commitment, and long-term provisioning, signals that a partner will invest in offspring. While modern dynamics are more complex, these patterns still influence what people may prioritize instinctively when selecting mates.
I would like you to also give a few definition explanations in simple terms. One of them is hypergamy, another one is pre-selection. What do they mean with dominance hierarchies? And maybe if you have more other terms or terminologies that are useful for our discussion in dating.
Hypergamy refers to the tendency to seek a partner who is of higher status or resources than oneself. Pre-selection is the idea that being desired by others makes someone more desirable. Dominance hierarchies are social rankings where some individuals have more power or influence. Other terms include pair bonding, forming long-term attachments, mate value in individuals' overall desirability, and sexual selection, traits evolving because they increase mating success.
Okay, so we had a whole bunch of information. Y'all can look this back. Balin, good luck with editing.
Thanks.
But they are common enough to, they're common enough for you to find enough examples and B-rolls and definitions online. Having said that, let's say how we should structure this. Well, one of the findings recently, it's more recently, and I'm talking now for what I've noticed in the girls these days. You can agree, maybe chime in. What I've noticed in their, so basically mating amongst young adolescents and early 20 girls, so basically above 18, but maybe like even from 16, like they can have boyfriends. Everything is based on what is approved by the social dynamic they are in the current state. So it's kind of, and it's a given, right? So in dating, girls really value what other girls and other people think of their mate. That's why if you go out and they find a nice boy, they all have to go to the toilet, the restroom, to hurdle, talk about a game plan, and then proceed. It's like, okay, again, that's why we give the disclaimers. We're not talking about outliers, because some people are like, yeah, but some of them are hers. And they just go with you, go home with you just like this. They don't need no opinion. True, they are there. The 304s are not of this world, and we're thankful for that. But most girls, on average, they kind of like to hurdle, communicate, kind of vote. You know, like, I don't know what they do in the toilet, but kind of do. So basically, it's like, hey, you know, like, do I look like a fool if I go with him? Kind of thing. Nothing is explicit because everything is subliminal. They will always talk around the bush. It's not never like this is the bottle in the bush. No. They're like, yeah, there's this object over there. It looks like this. What do you think? Why girl? Who is this person? No. What do you think first? Tell me, what do you think? Yeah, he's right. Kind of, I don't know. Would you do him? Like, would you do? Tessa, please, honesty. I know you like to gaslight, honesty. So, it's kind of like exaggerated example, but kind of what they do, right? Agree or no?
Yeah, I agree. But if they show the picture, they don't know who it is. They say mid, and then you say I really like him. Oh my God, yeah, he's a 10. Damn.
But then again, this only adds the evidence of they appreciate each other's opinion. Okay, let's flip it to the male side. Me and you go to the club and some other boys. You see some girl, you just disappear.
Yeah.
This is literally no conversation. We'll look at the other guys like, hey, what the fuck's Berlin go? Oh yeah, so walking with the Betty. Oh yeah, okay, sure, whatever. You're like, and if you would, okay, no like outliers, because if you're like my best friend, I will cock block you if you go with a 2. Because I don't want you to have a baby mama that is 2, because you're gonna hate your life. I have had friends lost their everything because, yeah, they did that, the slow Wednesday. And you're like, I kid you not, I hope he watched this, but probably he won't. He was the Tyrone in our group. Muscular, could get any girl just by pointing, right? And they go to toilet, like this. But this guy was horny AF. He's like, just you have those nights, like that's why they get slow Wednesday. You go in a club, the most popular in your city, right? You go there, and there is literally no viable options. What does a sound person do that's not a horn dog? We have fun, we cheers, we haha, make jokes, and then call it a day. No, not him. And we all know this guy. He's like, nah, man, you know, she has a fat ass. We'll go for that. And he'll go for it. You know somebody like this?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, unless you're my best friend, I won't cock block you. Because again, this we're gonna flip this to the girl side as well. That one slow Wednesday turned out eventually to be a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. He's a good guy. He stayed by her, still with her, but is he happy? We don't know. All we know is he needs whiskey every day because he already drank a lot. Now he drinks even more.
So he's for sure happy.
Very happy, I guess. And he literally disappeared of the group. He don't talk to nobody anymore. Yeah. But 3 beautiful daughters. Good for him. But unless you're my best friend, I won't stop you. But yeah, if you're my best, I would definitely cock block you the fuck out of you. But I would also, and I'm gonna flip everything I'm saying to the girls' side. I would also be someone that will ship you. Oftentimes, some guys just don't have the balls at that point, the liquid courage. They don't have it. Now, enter June.
Wingman.
Yo.
Wingman
I have
plus.
paid Ubers. I've kicked someone in the fucking Uber with a girl. They're like, bro, she's kind of too hot for me, man. I don't know if I can, you know, hold out the. You're like, bro, think there, not here. Go. No, I don't know. Like guys sometimes get cold feet. Yes, they do. Even if they have experience, when we play out of our league, we kind of know we're not ready for this raid boss. We're like, oh, I don't know if my skill level is up there, you know, if I have enough Pokemon badges to fight this gym leader. And I'm like, no, you can do this. You can. We will be the guy. Like, I'm gonna flip this in a moment. I know guys watching this like, bro, girls sound like this. For sure. Well, we're like, yeah. Sometimes I remember vividly one day, this guy was so not sure, and I would kind of like, the girl was already ready to go. She literally told us like, bro, he can come to my place. He can just do the thing. You know, like, just make sure he comes with. I'm like, I got you. I'm like, okay, just say you need an Uber. We're gonna walk you to the Uber. He's enough of a gentleman to walk you to the Uber. Like, sure, okay. And like, I'm gonna say I'm coming with, because otherwise he's like, I'm getting set up, right? It's her. And then she goes in the Uber like around the way. The guy walked in. I shut the door. And kind of like, you know, let the Uber go and the Uber went. I literally example like how I kicked him in the Uber and yeah, he got late. Obviously. But, and there are multiple examples, but we don't need opinions. We just choose who we choose, whatever it may be. And this really, it's for most guys really high. Maybe not you, but this guy would do a 8, but also a 2, right? The example of the slow Wednesday guy. But most guys like this. What are our criteria? It's for the night, and this is gonna be we're gonna return. Okay, so like girls, guys also have wifey material and fuck material, right? Kinda. If you eventually, and I try to, this is another advice, hope you eventually evolve to create a new category, which is friend zone only criteria. And we're gonna talk about like men and women cannot be friends. To our point, agreed. But then we're gonna we'll talk about how to get there, but then mostly, in general, there's only wifey or good time. In both cases, sex is involved. You have to get laid to get there. In other cases, that's how we interact with women, right? In general. My plight is for you to have a new category, is friend zone only, right? This is what you can open up in your brain.
It comes with maturity, I think.
I think mental psychology thinking, the way of thinking.
Well, that's maturity, no?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean if you're young, you can't reach it. That's what I'm trying to say. I think you can reach it even if you're young. You also can reach it. And I know guys that are 50, they never reach this. Everything is I have to slay. And I'm trying to, and this is a term I came up today, to this afternoon. I'm like, you have to have a steady diet of glorified pussy. Steady diet. You know, like, I'm keto, right? People don't know, but for those who don't know, I am keto. What does that mean? I'm a ketogenic diet. What do I eat? Well, nothing carb. Yes, this is really hard because I don't eat pasta, rice, bread, potato. What else? Something. All the
Yeah.
But those 4 categories are those. These categories are the staple in a normal person's diet, no? Yet I choose a life of not eating and not, no, I'm not allergic. I literally chose not to eat. Do I eat? Yes. Meat, fish, vegetables, shellfish, whatever. So, am I whole my life like this? No. I just chose the whole month of January to go off keto, where I indulged in carb, whatever I didn't have. I'm gonna relate this to glorified pussy. All I'm saying is, by opening this new category, and there's gonna whole theory behind this, and you can agree or don't agree, these are my findings. Do with it what you will. Is eventually, I think another advice is basically have a steady diet of glorified pussy in the sense of you really don't have to fuck everything that walks around. And I know people are like, no, you don't understand. You have to, yeah, well, I know. If you're young, testosterone run high. Even if you're older, testosterone run high, you do have to hit a lot of things you want to hit. But then here comes the IQ part. Just because it's possible or plausible, it doesn't mean that it's possible. And just because you have to, don't mean you kind of have to indulge. Sure, it feels good to do cocaine. Yeah, you feel good. Or what's another thing that gives you a dopamine spike? MDA? Yeah, which drug? Yeah, MDA. Yeah. Sure, you can do it every other day, every week, every month. But is that actually good for you in the long term? Because we talk about long term. Because again, we started this saying, yeah, I can get that you need everything short term, and that's how kind of our brain is wired. And not a finding. This is all over the place. Perfect exercise for Balin to edit. Another finding. Why I think IQ is so relevant and people should definitely consider this more in their debate or study regarding mating. What I've noticed, yes, lower IQ guys get laid more. True. Higher IQ guys, this is literally being studied before. Higher IQ guys get laid less. Sure. Why? If you're lower IQ, your reptilian brain is gonna take over. What's that for our guy? Conquer everything you see. Literally. For them, it's like, hey, that's a go, that's a go, that's a go, that's a go, that's a go. Go, 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 go. We wanna have them all. Right? That's kind of your reptilian brain saying like, hey, yes, attraction, arousal, go. And you just like uncontrollably go, and everything is a hunt. And I kind of believe I've seen it. Because some girls be like, yeah, the guy just loves bombed me in the beginning and does everything. He said he was in love, blah, blah, blah. I was the only one. And I'm like, yeah, girl, you kind of was the only one he was in love for that day until he saw another girl. But there's no hard science on this part because there's no way to do this in study because no way you can only select this variable to test. It's not possible. But what I've seen and noticed, I kind of believe these, let's say those bloodhounds, let's call them bloodhounds. Let's give dog analogies since men are dogs anyway. These bloodhounds, I believe that when they get a sniff of their favorite diet, which is pussy, they just have to go. And then at that point in time, if that's the only thing in the peripheral, I believe they're in love. I've seen it. There literally nothing exists besides conquering and getting this valuable piece of meat, let's say. And I believe it. Like at that point, for sure, you are the only sole focus he care about. If you say die for me now, and you can't get laid, like well, he'll be dead and he can't. But you know what I mean? He'll probably do it. Like at that point, if he's like in the conquering mode, he just go. Nothing exists. No thinking, no nothing. And then eventually it's effort, right? I'm gonna go into like how the courtship works and whatever it is, like how that's actually kind of bullshit, but different moment in time in this stream, or not a stream, because it's gonna be a long one. They just have to go, they focus, and they just go until they get it. And if they don't get it, they're like, unfortunately, that rabbit has been jumped away, right? No way we get that red meat. But then if another rabbit comes by or a deer, they'll just go again. And I believe by this pursuit, because again, it is a numbers game, because they try enough times, eventually they will catch a weaker red meat. Right? It could be that this rabbit just likes the shape of this bloodhound. This rabbit might like the way he pounds at her. This deer, how the bloodhound is drooling. I don't know what it might be, what allures the rabbit or deer or whatever, a Giselle. He then eventually can conquer and get the red meat back, because he just tries enough times. But then, why IQ is such a thing, and now we're gonna flip everything, we're gonna flip everything to the female side. Don't worry, they get their turn. Why I think that high IQ people don't get laid that much. First of all, they think too much, so there is inaction. So there is no hunting to be, there's nothing to be hunted because you don't hunt. So you just stand still in your starting blocks and nothing is done. But then, when you use it to your advantage, this is how we open a new category of friends zone only, and it's like crazy, like what? Friends with females? Yes, we're gonna talk about the benefits in a moment. But then you kind of can do a fast, and I call it calibration. What kind of interaction you want from this said female? Obviously, that's why I say glorified in my steady diet of pussy. Could be a new, how do you say, abbreviation? Yeah, it's like
USDGP.
Yeah. Because obviously only chase what you find attractive. Do you ignore all the ugly girls? No, don't. Everything and everyone is equal. Definitely talk to them, befriend them, well, whatever you want to do. But in your chase, for slaying or conquering, obviously just go for what's attractive. Always, it's another thing. You, as a man, are lucky enough that this is not only on your looks. Because I know there are people that are black-pilled and that are mixed out and are like, fuck man, it's all looks, I'm not 6 feet tall, right? Like they're like the worst of the humankind, blah, blah, blah. I hate on women, right?
Clavicular.
Huh?
Clavicular.
No, he likes women. What do you mean? He loves women. He has women all around him all the time. Looks makes it to the max. But lucky for us, there are other dials that we find that works in our favor. Whereas for girls, yeah, they really have one thing. Look as hard as you can. And chastity. You know, like be pure. But again, we're going to flip this and we're going to talk about our things what they can work on to improve their dating chances. But for guys, looks are not everything, but nothing is to the extreme. Just because it's not everything and there are different dials you can dial and like, let's say stats you can max out in gaming terms. Doesn't mean you don't have to try to max out, let's say you're a magician, a mage. Doesn't mean you don't have to max out your defenses or your physical prowess. At least try to the highest you can go as a mage. And the other way around. If you are a warrior, doesn't mean you don't have to max out your wit. Or whatever they call it in gaming terms. Like the wit or something? I don't know. Just basically max out your wisdom.
Yeah.
As much as you can, because everything is related to what you are, what your DNA markup is. Some things work in your favor, some things work against you, and certain traits work in your favor, certain traits work against you. So it all comes down as well to, do you know yourself? Well, how well can we know ourselves? It's tough. Because if you're not lucky enough to have transparent friends, mentors, coaches, teachers, professors in your life, or honest female friends, you really don't get much feedback. You just don't get data, and you're like, fuck. You can go nowhere with nobody because nobody can help you. Well, now to the advancement of the internet, you have, again, courses, masterclass, seminar, whatever, you have to pay a lot. Usually you have to pay a lot. I always argue, if you have the means to do it, yeah, go for it. Why? If you can get a blueprint on a hack, the blue shark for your gaming, go for it. If you have the means, some people really do know what they're talking about, go for it. But if you're lucky enough, and I think some people do have these people around them, you get feedback, and then eventually you kind of discover like, hey, this is what's working for me, this is neutral, and this is working against me. And if you, and this is advice in general, obviously we try to balance things out as much as we can, right? But there's also something to be said as, you want to be good at what you can be known for. So in that case, you have to triple down, not double, but triple down in what you're already good at. And we're going to tie everything together, don't worry. In the end, how you just be yourself. It's going to be the, and that's kind of, I think, kind of the paradox. It starts out with like, girls tell you to be yourself and just don't work, and eventually discover just be yourself and it kind of works. Like they've been telling the truth all along, but okay. Anyway, so you discover what you're good at, what you're not so good at, what you're average at, and you try to balance everything out, but then triple down in what you're very, very good at. Well, basically, I always say in normal sense, just in skill sets or talents, triple down in what you're good at, so you're known for it. So kind of that becomes your niche. We're gonna talk in dating. There's a lot of dynamics gonna be like logistics something, funnel is something. Do you use dating apps? So a lot of components that will come to play, but in the essence of it all, self-knowledge is super duper important. Because then you also know, even if you want to balance things out, if that's really your weakness, you do know where to really get a little bit better. You will never be excellent, but you'll be like tolerable. We want to be tolerable enough that you can pass as the he just gets it guy. Just like in my early example of he just gets it and you are in a friends group, eventually girls just see like, hey, he's desirable, all the girls want him, men respect him, there's a catch. That's the price. I want to have the price. We're gonna talk about a lot of other things, but self-knowledge is definitely one of the things. Spend some time in this. Put yourself in situations that you're being challenged, especially socially. That's why I say the 10,000 meaningful conversation with attractive women, it's kind of impossible, seems like. But then again, if you go for it, it's really not. But it's just like a number. Will you, if you're a quick learner, am I saying you're not kind of a little bit more experienced if you have 500? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it could work for you if you're a quick learner. I can see how some guys, and I've seen them, if it's like they take on new skill set, they just learn quick. Let's say someone that's already good in skateboarding, it doesn't take much to be balanced on a surfboard or a snowboard. Although it's very different, they already find their skill set. So if they take only 500 hours of surfing, maybe they already can surf, and I need 5,000 hours. I'm not saying it's a hard rule, but I mean, engage in this exercise to gather those meaningful hours of study and experience. if anything, it will just definitely improve your life because, and that was a thing I also heard today on the podcast, because they always say like, hey, the man is the apex predator, but no man actually really slain a mammoth or a saber-toothed tiger or a bear alone, as far as we know. It's always a collection of men. So even our ancestors, they rely on each other. And it's been proven, and there's been studies on this, by the way. People that live in a very social settings and engage in social dynamics frequently, they tend to live longer, more healthy, more fruitful, more joyous life. You've heard of this?
No.
Well, it's kind of a thing.
Now I have.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. They actually live longer. And people that live in solitude, they actually kind of reduce their lifespan. Unfortunately. But all is to say, we are people of community. So you honing your social skills, and there are levels to this, will definitely improve your life. So even if all else fails, you will have just basically a better, healthier, joyful, fruitful life. Am I saying you have to be around people all the time? No. If you're not an extrovert, or if you're extreme introvert, you definitely don't want to be people all around. I'm just saying don't exclude. It cannot hurt for you to understand human beings and human social dynamics to a higher level. It will only improve your life, no matter how you choose to live. From what I'm saying. Females, however, they rely and they date on, and it's gonna explain a little bit something, and maybe you find it, you've heard of it or seen it. They always rely on what the opinion is of said partner and how they look socially within their social hierarchy. I know people are like, oh, we live in a world, global dating marketplace. Well, to a certain extent that is true. But in a high brain and an IQ, to a low IQ girl, her safety indicators are only and solely what other people think in her community of said partner she chooses. So it obviously starts, and maybe this is all subliminal, so she's not consciously thinking on this. Or maybe in the beginning it starts with her only female group, but at a certain point in time, I'm pretty sure, I've deducted this, they kind of think like, hey, how would this guy look for me? How would I appear in a social setting with this guy standing next to me, to my parents, my friends, my ex, my op, my grandma? What would they think? Will I be seen in a good light, a positive light? So basically socially accepted, or will I be seen, so basically ridiculed of my choices and basically risk being an outcast, right? That's the biggest fear. And this is my observation. Am I saying there are no high IQ girls that think like this? No, because this is a hindbrain movement. This is like a hindbrain activity. So they already do this automatically. I'm just saying high IQ people, high IQ girls, may select a little bit differently because they have different levels to select from. But to our lower IQ girl, this is kind of our rudimental base in her selection process. And this is, I'm gonna give you now the examples, what the dark side of this is. They basically want to have a boy, all of her friends want to fuck, but only she can. And he's gonna only have her. And because from all eligible boys, from what they can choose from, she selected him. So apparently, so there is this saying, like 99% of guys are invisible and all the girls want the 1%. Have you heard of it? Kinda, right? So this 1%, because he's a 1% and girls kinda maybe subconsciously know this, they want him kinda too. So am I saying given the chance and he would, let's say they are all vying for him, right? This is like apex, let's say the alpha of the club or the most popular guy. All fight for him, and he, let's say, had her eyes on her, but then and she on him, and she kind of like maybe is a group leader and all this, and he's mine. And girls sometimes fall in line, right? But some will even like back. That's why you see so many backstabbing. It's like you have cases. People plot a whole theory and make a whole plot how they can break up, so then they can fuck the boy. And they're like best friends. Explain this.
Can't.
That's what I mean, low IQ, hive mind.
I'm low IQ.
No, not you, but I mean,
I can't explain the low IQ.
no, I'm saying the behavior is lower IQ because everything is about what everyone thinks of that person, so that person by definition is a good choice. And I haven't even touched on the guy. He might be a psychopath. That doesn't matter because all it matters in this, and this is again my observation in a low IQ setting, they just select based off what everyone thinks socially is accepted on paper. So based on that, they will just basically choose that. That is also explaining why the same guy is running through the whole friend group. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same guy, right? He runs through the whole friend group.
Yeah.
Or the same 2-3 guys.
I have a friend like that.
Yeah, and they like literally and they don't mind.
Yeah.
Flip it to the other side. Well, some guys will do that, but I think it's disgusting. But how often it's like, hey, you have this community bike, this girl, we call it the community bike. All guys can and hop on this bike and ride her. What will we think about her if you have some sense of self-worth? Well, she's easy, but will she be more attractive or less attractive to a girl that nobody had ridden on? Like some new bike in this store who's super protected.
Same appearance.
Yeah, same. Ceteris paribus.
Well, that's kind of evolutionary, also proven that, also, of course, the one that has not been ridden on.
So, but the other way around, we'll find a kind of, well, sure, but I'm just saying, okay, so if you're a super horny horn dog, well, you're just like,
don't care.
Pump and dump, right? But this, will you say wifey? None of the guys will say wifey. Right?
To?
Huh?
To? To who?
To the community bike.
Yeah.
But the flip the other way, all of the girls are in line for him to be the boyfriend of all of them. Right? All of them, like maybe one of the 20, well, maybe like, again, IQ. One of the 20 were like, no. Yeah. Why would I want you? You know, like, there is no shine factor, you don't know the price anymore, because, you know, like, I want something of my own.
The male brain appreciates purity, and the female brain appreciates
Scarcity.
And also experience.
No, they don't care.
I think they care more.
They appreciate competence.
Yeah, in the low IQ dating market, maybe.
Yeah, and that's why drug dealers always get laid.
Yeah.
Because aggression in their eyes is competence. Aggression by force, they think, is power. And we're gonna get to the advice side for the girls. But okay, so coming back, for the female, and everything is in a low IQ setting, everything is dependent on what the other people think and how it looks socially. If you've seen how females behave on social media platforms, all of them try to flex harder on each other. All of them. If you see some girl on like a ski trip, all of them goes to ski trip.
2 ski trips.
2 or 3 or higher level. If you see one girl to a Maldive vacation snorkeling, you see this girl in Miami on a yacht. And if you see one girl post happy with my boyfriend in Big Ben, like they like to flex on each other. Way more than we, actually. We like to brag about our escapades and our fruits of labor. Sure. Achievement. We like to brag about it. Okay. Again, generality, because I know some delinquents only post money, stacks money. Like, oh, how many? Rent cars, you know, like, look at my Bugatti. what color is your Bugatti? And you know, they go on airplane like, hey, my private plane. It's not your plane.
Charter.
Yeah. But girls really like to flex on each other, and as the same as they like to flex on their boyfriend. So it's like, oh, but he's hotter than him. You know, like they say guys are superficial. Yeah, we are the boost as we go. But actually girls are like superficial to a higher degree. Again, IQ. Since everyone is average or below, and the higher IQ, so in distribution of IQ, and you maybe know this, for guys it's like, on the lower end is like a big group, the average like this, and then the smartest guys are also men, right? If you go on the distribution side.
Yeah.
This has been proven. For females, it's the average IQ is a bigger chunk of females. So the stupid ones are very a few, and very brilliant are also few, but the bulk is in the middle in IQ.
Yeah.
So they will fluctuate between, I don't know, 75 and 110, let's say. I don't have the distribution, but we can look it up.
Okay.
So that means, on average, they just like to flex on superficiality. Am I saying, and that's like, oh, but you've seen so many girls with ugly guys, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now we come in the territory of there are different dials for guys to get a mate. And this is where, okay, but then it comes down to this. The biggest question we hear on podcasts, like whatever podcast or Fresh and Fit or all the podcasts they talk about dating, is like, what are guys' function for women in dating, and what are women's function for guys in dating? So what do we basically value in each other? I asked ChatGPT just now, but I'd like to summarize. For guys, for female, the most important traits we have to demonstrate and show, and possess, because threefold. And most people already book, well, not most. Some people already book success by just demonstrating these traits. That's why I mentioned demonstrating. It's protection and provisioning, right? That's it. These two are the most important thing. This is how we show loyalty. If a girl is wifey, literally guys will give their lives for their wife. True or no?
True.
That's what we do. We just like sacrifice, like do everything for her. That's why if you're a girl, become wifey, not pump and dump. There's a big difference, and most girls don't know the difference. They think if they're pump and dump, and they're like, oh my God, that's my boyfriend. Like, no. You're just in the shadows, you're at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. Even if it's say that outside of his bedroom, you are nowhere near wifey material for him. But hey, I don't want to burst some bubbles, but it's what it is. That's why we have this stream, so the girls that know, like I've literally given this advice, and you might not believe me or believe me. I've given girls this advice. Like she's like, oh, what do you think of this situation? And she explains this, and I've met the guy, blah blah. I'm like, well, you want an honest answer or just our answer? She's like, no, honest, brutal answer. I'm like, okay, so you're, huh?
Your side,
yeah. So probably you're the fourth one in the rotation, because you're a different city. He only wants to see you like once a week or once in 2 weeks. You go to him, don't go to you, and y'all just fuck on that day, nothing else. So, few things you can do, right? If you like him like that, stick into this situation, be fine with the other female, even though he haven't told you there is. I'm gonna tell you there is. He might tell you sweet nothings, and you're the only one. You like blah blah blah. You're just busy. Like, okay, another thing, girls. If a guy is not sharing his resources with you, that's already major indication you're not main girl. Like 100% hands in the fire, truth. True or not?
True. 100% true. Resources, you mean like
money, time,
money,
everything.
yeah.
Like okay, because what are guys valued in society? What do we make? What do we made of? So, how do we do that? What do we spend on? We spend our time and money to achieve that. to be meaningful to the community, and the community reflect back your worth as a human and a man in society. This is basically how it works. In certain cultures, that's more prominent, like in Asian culture, that's kind of the end of be all, and that's why we kind of are raised more conservatively, as they say. And whereas in the Western culture, it's not that prevalent because it's all about creative freedom, man. You are who you are, and dream, and be a painter, and do nothing, and go in protests, and whatever. Go surf. But in summary, and in the gist of it all, basically what we create to your direct community and a greater community as a whole. And this is of the reflection of the market. So it's not what we think, it's like literally what do you mean to your society. And for us to grow in this aspect, we have to spend more time and money and resources to achieve this.
And also,
in exchange,
also prove not just to yourself, but also to your community that you are worth what you want to be worth.
Yeah. So basically, for us to grow in this aspect, we basically spend time, resources, and money to get this. So what's going to be scarce if all our endeavors, and we're going to talk about like things to focus on as a male, just in general, later in a different stream. And I always talk about this, and people are like, psst, you're one of those. And like, yeah, you're a. So in most nowadays, I'm become cynical. I've reached this period in my life, become cynical. And I was like, psh, you're a girl, it's fine. You're a woman, yeah. But you're a man, so blah, 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 right? I hold them to a whole different standard. And to young people, that seems so unfair. I'm like, he's the same as me. I'm like, nah, no way. In your mind, he's the same, but his existence is and going to be hella different than yours.
And
hella different.
Disclaimer, you're not saying that one of them is bad. You're just saying it's different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
But there is nothing bad, or just how. I'm just telling you what is real. What's gonna be. No girl is gonna tell me just having big tits is not gonna make your life easier. Look at Sydney Sweeney. Come on, man. I was just thinking this now today. If she was flat-chested, will she be this popular? I don't know.
Maybe.
I
Maybe
don't
she has
know.
great acting skills.
I don't know.
You're
Just saying.
You're not being cynical at all.
I have no idea. But she looking how she looks does make her life easier though. Even she knows this. That's why she always shows it off, right?
And it
God gave
value.
you assets and you show the assets. Yeah. Right? Why would you choose a harder life if life can be easier? And for sure, but I do believe, and that's kind of what I found out, some girls are really oblivious and they really believe they got in certain rooms or got certain opportunities just because the guy finds her so fascinating. You know what I mean?
No.
So let's say a girl wants to be a recording artist and she's really pretty, but she can sing for shit. And then she like ends up in all these kind of recording studios. Like, in her mind, like she thinks she's hella talented. But we call that, amongst the guys, studio game.
Never heard of that.
You never knew that?
No, but I get.
You know, there's like a type of game.
I get the phenomenon that you're saying. Yeah.
It's basically they give her a chance so they can maybe get laid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything is about opportunity, right?
Yeah.
In this arena, it's a studio. But I've met these girls, and they actually think they are that good. I'm now giving the example of singing, but you can apply this to all factors. They're like, yeah, you know, somehow, some way, I met this owner of this major club, and I'm in the VIP deck. Just like that, must be a cool person, right? You're like, everything like goes to their head. You know, like, it's what it is. And then because their life is like this, they cannot fathom the average guy can't even get in. Sad club. Yeah. And if they want to get in, they have to pay maybe $500 of 1,000. Because there are clubs that you have to pay the table. 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. Yeah. Especially in Asia and the US. But because this is really important note, and for any guy watching this, If you want to take away anything from this stream recording episodes, whatever you say and tell Argo, she will always reflect back to her anecdotal situation. 99% out of 10 the time, 100%, 99 out of 100 times, she will always reflect, does this apply to me? If yes, I'm going to give my anecdotal experience. And if all the cases, cannot fathom. Doesn't exist, doesn't happen, you're just talking gibberish, blah, blah, blah.
Bye.
Blah, 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 blah. Literally this. I've seen this so many times. It's a bit, I don't do this. Because the conversation will start like, hey, you know what I noticed about girls around 20? They're like, ba 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 bam, right? And then the girls I'm conversating with are like, but that's not true. I don't do that. And you're like, yes, I know. You don't do that. Like everything is a disclaimer. Like, no, in general. But from the general part, from that on, they don't even listen. Literally, they tune you out. Because they don't apply to them and their survival. Coming back to the low IQ, high brain, reptilian brain. Because they have to live a narcissistic living because they are the weaker sex. And then they bear the offspring. So everything for them is about their survival and then the survival of their offspring. This explains why, and people give this example multiple times, when the Germans took over the France, the females were happily hopping on a dick. Literally, they just folded your husband and your uncles and whatever, like, right, taking over the territory, and you're like, oh, take me, wow, right. I know it didn't went like this. There are a lot of involuntary situations going on, for sure. But you can also not tell me that certain girls were really ready to hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Or what's the result? Otherwise, die. No, literally, this or like survival or death. Survival or death.
Yeah.
Hard way, easy. Hard way. So, because unfortunately men are fucking dogs and they are the one with volatility and the
Men are fucking
violence.
dogs?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. They have the violence.
Ah, you mean men are like dogs?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said men are fucking dogs.
Oh no. They have the upper hand in violence, and of course in the tribal times and the war times, the Ottoman region, the Roman region, Persian region, whatever moment, periods, eras of time. That's why, what was it? 80% of the female always being able to pass along their genes, and only 40% of the male was able to. That means 6 out of the 10 died. The gene pool just died off. And then for the female, 8 out of the 10 were able to pass on their genes. We are the expendable sex, and that kind of explains in evolutionary biology why we want to spread our seed far and wide. Because if we're going to die eventually, faster, sooner rather than later, like in past times, and the female have a higher chance of living, then we want to make sure, like, hey, at least one of me is gonna, one of my offspring, like, I have to be able to have one offspring, survive.
Yeah.
Like the duck and an egg story that just finished.
Yeah.
He's the fourth son of the fourth son. He's the fourth son of the fourth son, and so he got ascended to be a king. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry. Way better. Well, it's a very good series, by the way. We might do an analysis of that series. How most people like this better than actually even House of Dragons, I guess, because people are really raving about this show. Duck and egg. No.
Yeah, but House of Dragons, I don't know.
Well, I mean, with that budget,
yeah,
what they've been able to achieve. But so there is something to be said, like it's like just basically hard coded in their brain to hop on to the next, because it's survival or death, and we choose survival. That's what it is, and so in that case, obvious and that has to also brings up why the hypergamy thing is a thing. Obvious, because it's not so obvious to me, but and it would be logical because they were the weaker sex. It's for them harder to gather the resources and then especially to harness excess resources for them and their offspring, because first of all, in 1 year they're incapacitated and they can do nothing because they're just bearing the child, and then maybe half a year later they have to kind of be 24/7 with the child. So they're out of the game for 2 years. In those 2 years, they gotta make sure somehow, some way, they stay alive and the kids stay alive. So in caveman times, even, they just latch on to whatever male can do that. That's why, for us, it's about protection, provisioning, and why we are made to work our whole life, well, at least more capable.
And also in caveman times, like children, like I don't know, 8 out of 10 died before reaching age 1. So for men to spread their seeds, as you said, like widespread, it makes sense.
Yeah, because a lot of them just don't make it.
A lot of them just don't make it, and also the mother died, and
yeah, there's
so
way more reason. Yeah,
they spread the seeds in 4 different fields, and then one of the seeds will grow. Yeah.
But what do men look for in women? Well, reproduction value. So that's why young and fertile. That's why they pull this men across culture, across region, across time. They all find, I think it was 18 to 25 attractive. It's a statistic. Take it for what you will. So I know people are like, oh my God, why do all guys, they are just dirt balls and they just only like young women? Well, this is some hard coding in us as well, because less complications in childbearing, and it's a fact. And also, she has more eggs left to have children. Talking about reproduction. So like tall guys are hardwired to be very attractive. One of the more attractive triggers for women, youthfulness is for us very attractive. There's something you like cannot debate against.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, agreed.
It's like men across ages, they will, if you have to choose 21 or 51 women.
Yeah, of course.
Same with girls, 5'3" or 6 feet. No brainer. They don't even think that there's like. Psh.
Yeah. And also, if someone, I forgot what I wanted to say.
But so there was one of the things I just really want to have you note down and remember. When you communicate with a female, she always reflects back to herself, does this apply, yes or no? And then come back with something. But that something is also from her anecdotal experience in general. I'm not talking about, and I have met high IQ girls and they don't do that, I get it. They understand hyperboles and they understand critical thinking and they understand generalities. They exist. I've met them, they exist, obviously, duh. But in general, just assume they just think about, does this apply to me? Otherwise, don't exist, I don't hear you. Really important. So that's why do not negotiate with terrorists. No, I was kidding. Negotiate with women. There's no negotiation to be had. There's only her way or no way. Exit the room. It's going to be fine. She'll be mad, more mad for the first 2 hours, but it's fine. As another thing, what I noticed and just very interesting, just because it doesn't exist for her, and that's kind of in the territory of the Luluness, she just literally cannot fat. So first of all, everything works for me, instead of observe and reflected back to her and just like me. Everything is what would I do. That's why girls give each other terrible, destructive dating advice. Because, and this is gonna be a no-brainer example. Let's say you're the only girl in a friends group, the girls group. It's working. In a girls group that have a steady relationship. And all of your friends are just club goers. They want to go out every single weekend, party, woohoo! Why go wasted? Get lit. And every time you come with a complaint or quote unquote problem with your boyfriend, guess what the advice gonna be? He ain't shit, you just have to dump him, you deserve better, there's way better option. But why would they give this advice? Because think back what I just said, everything is about what's good for me. Let's say the group is just 5, right? You're one of the 5 and you've known each other forever. Y'all like the hardcore, whatever hashtag your group chat is. Y'all know each other, you went to a surf camp together, Albufeira together, Mallorca together, drink party situations, got drunk, seed sisters eventually, some guys. But you finally found your happy, steady relationship with a steady guy who's not toxic, does everything right. But you know, we all have some things we don't sit well, and you kind of like don't like about him. But that's just human. No person is 100% aligned with another person. Doesn't exist. You're being 100% aligned with yourself, so you're not honest to yourself. How can you be with another person? Impossibility. So you will have annoyances with each other. I don't care how healthy your relationship, you will. But because the older female friends, they think about me first. Because in there, like, look at their world, because that's why it's really important. That's why low IQ is very important component when you deal with other people or the sexes. They're gonna think, it sucks that Jenny cannot join us again. I wish she could be single again. Us 5 together was such trouble. We had so much fun. Like, she might not even, the friends might not even be consciously trying to sabotage your healthy relationship. But unconsciously, she definitely is, because she's thinking, what's good for me? What's good for Patricia? Is that Jenny single again? Is complete. But she is the leader of this fucking board. The board of which wants the fuck board? Like, how do we get the best chat? All of us. What kind of you guys chase the same chat? But fine. Neither here or there. But that's why girls give each other this advice. Is what I have observed, and I've seen girls do this. They will like actively sabotage, and the only one around too. Let's say flip script. All 5 are in a relationship. But now Jenny is with a hella toxic guy. Psychopath, beats her, whatever. Never hit women, by the way. Don't do that. That's very low ball. Don't do that. But let's say she's in a toxic relationship, abusive, whatever, physically abusive, mentally, emotional, like really something she has to break up with. But in a friend group, they are solid 5 plus 5 are 10 druple couple, like whatever the name is. You know, yeah. Quadruple, I don't know what the name is. Whatever. You get what I mean. So everyone is happy, and you guys don't do double day, but 5 dates. You know, 5 boys, 5 girls. It's all fun. We talk about relationship things. We do relationship things. Maybe plan for babies, whatever, right? That's when you ask, like, what I've seen people do. They just eventually choose not to go out and eventually do more wholesome stuff, more folding, I don't know, go to clay club and painting classes, whatever what girls do. But it's very obvious to the naked eye that Jenny is kind of in a situation she kind of have to break up with the guy. Again, in most cases, people are like, oh, yeah, but I would tell her to break it up. Like, I don't know, man. If you're in that situation, I've seen girls just tell her, no, don't break up. It's just one time. He always been good to you. He's always nice to me. Because psychopaths are usually very charismatic to others. It is true. That's why they wheel you in. That's very manipulative. They're always likable in the short term for 1 to 3 years, but that's why they always have to relocate locations. There's been studies on this. You never heard of that? Sociopaths and psychopaths? So in the first hand, they appear very charismatic, very likable. Everyone like them. Men like them, women like them. Because they just know how to be the part you want him to be. Because they don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, I know what the
It becomes more
I
higher
know
status.
I know what the brain is like. I just don't know the phenomenon of relocating or what you said.
Oh yeah, because in old times, if you're like a village or whatever, people find out you're a psychopath. You know, people find out you're a psychopath, you just got kicked out or killed.
Yeah.
So that's why they always relocate. Nowadays, they can hide away better because they've become strategic to date different girls, different cities. At least the smart ones, because the dumb ones just do whatever.
Yeah.
And then they get ostracized by the group. I've seen it happen too.
But usually the smarter ones are the sociopaths, because sociopathy, sociopathy usually comes with a higher IQ, and psychopathy
Isn't like
can come with a lower IQ.
Wasn't like one of the 7 people we meet?
Sociopath?
Yeah.
I think that's a bigger. It's a smaller number of sociopaths.
Can you check?
Yeah. Dumbass ChatGPT.
Well, as Balen's looking that stat up, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so basically they give each other destructive advice because everything is from the me lens. But then, another thing I've noticed with female, they really can't fathom there is another world besides how they live the world. So the male experience, they really don't care or slight like near to zero care for what a man goes through. So that's why, and that's been proven as multiple times stated, the self-development thing, they don't really understand. In their mind, the guy is just always the Chad. He was always the guy that just got laid. That's the guy, you know? And he just gets it. He just gets women. That's the guy, you know? And once they label you as such, they just think you're forever as such. That's why a few things. How they meet you is super important to female. I've seen it multiple times, how you guys initially meet. Once that image is set in stone, so basically, and they meet you like this, and you are like this for a certain period of time, you're set in stone in her mind. So let's say she meets you like a geek, like a dork. Well, first of all, you're lucky she even sees you if she tries to go, but yes, guys, most of you are invisible. You like, you go out for dinner with multiple girls. You have some random busboy just cleaning out the plates. Most of the time, they don't even exist. If I ask all of the girls, did you notice the shirt the guy's wearing? They'll like literally tell you what guy. I didn't see anyone. I only see this bartender over there, Alejandro, with the tats. Because their reticular activation system is only how we have wife, so fuck only and wife, wifey material, they have friend zone, but the friend zone part is kind of 99%. Wow, that's a little bit harsh. 1% invisible, 9% the friend zone part, and 1% is like, yeah, mate, possible mate. Nothing in between. Once they label you as such, and you will become more, you will basically be invisible, so they don't even notice you. Then they will see you like as a friend or more friend. So that's why female will be gladly be your friend forever and ever and ever, and siphon off your time and resources and protection and boyfriend energy without giving you nothing of sexuality. And they don't care. And in their mind, they're like, yeah, Johnny doesn't want to do anything with me. He never tried. And then we're like always like, but given the chance, you think you will hop on that bike? And like, nah, he never will. That's not Johnny. That's not how it goes, right? So if you're labeled as such, this is how they meet you. you will kind of in their mind stuck. So there is no way in hell this person could be this person all the way around. Like if someone, let's say, was a Chad and then fell down in his 40s, they can follow this. So the self-improvement whole genre process, they don't comprehend this. Well, so basically when I often tell other people tell about like, hey, you can improve your speech and you can improve the way you communicate with people, the way you behave, the way you look, your physique, your muscles, conditioning, grooming, looks maxing, all these kind of things that are factors for us because girls just have million of criteria for us to comply. And that's why for us it's very important. That's how they say, like, don't ask the fish to how to fish, always ask a fisherman. Girls always like, yeah, but I'm useful as a friend. I can give them dating advice. Yeah. What did I just say? Everything you tell or ask her will be reflected back to her. She'll give you dating advice, what she like in her ideal man. Has nothing to do with the goal you're trying to pursue. Zero niche. That's why it's destructive, because it's no use, useless. Useless. Girls will give you advice that literally will hurt your game. Unless she's lesbian. I'm saying, again, this stream, it's about generalities, not exceptions. Obviously, I have had bi girls, female friends of mine who are bi. Yeah, they are hella good women. But no straight women will see these cues. I'm going to give you an example, really potent one. And still, to the day of today, stick to this. Stick to this example. Was so example. Because it was the first time. So I have this female friend, the exact girl that took us all to another McDonald's. Group leader, remember?
Yeah.
Same girl. She knows she's not my type because I only like tall blonde girls or pogs as they call them or whatever. So, but I've always known her. But that night was kind of the first night we went out like only us two. It usually was like more people or more females, whatever. Or I just met her there. But that night was kind of like, oh, let's hunt together. Because kind of was in a lesbian phase. So we kind of go hunt together. Well, anyways. There was this two girls. And I was talking to both of them because I kind of saw them at the bar and she was somewhere else talking to another girl. Doesn't matter. She then came by next to me. And I was like talking, blah, blah, conversating, blah, blah, blah. Then eventually the girls make some excuse because basically you're like cut off. Bye. You tried. Thank you. Thank you next. And they just went. And in my mind, I'm like, fuck, I'm just being rejected. I thought I was doing so well because it extended to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. That's a good timer. If you talk to a girl in a nightclub setting, how are y'all going somewhere? No. Just throwing out their boys. Stick in there. Sometimes you can say nothing is fine. Just stick in there. Hold on for dear life. Hold on to the conversation. So I'm like in my mind, like, I tried, It's what it is. On to the next one. And she literally saw me like, you know how we get. She was really nice. And I in my mind thought I was doing well. And she saw how disappointed I was. She was like, bro, what are you doing? You do know she was super into you, right? I don't know, what do you mean? She walked away. She like, you didn't see the other girl do this the whole time? I'm like, wait, what? Oh, no, like putting on her shirt, like go, 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 go. That was back in the day. I didn't know I had to entertain everyone and every single one except the girl in the night. Another thing for later. But that was before that. So in the story, if she had not told me this, I had interpreted whole social interaction being like I failed. And now thanks to her, I kind of like, this is one for the data bank because this is what I did well and what I had to look for if there are two girls. And I didn't entertain another one. But needless to say, because she was a female, she saw the body language of two girls. And she could notice like, oh, this girl she was into you. Because you know how, she could give me actual pointers like what was the attraction trigger. Whereas the other girl really want to go because I was just basically ignoring her. Yeah. Rookie mistake, guys. Always entertain everyone and don't single anyone else, even the beluga whale there in the corner. Yes, you have to take one for the team. So if you are a wingman, I know guys, you hate to hear this, but if you want to help your boy, and you know you kind of have no chance, okay. So first of all, you'll not always have no chance, but sometimes you kind of know it's not your time yet, so you haven't had the necessarily Pokemon badges to tackle this monster. So, and you know your friend over there kind of has the respective Pokemon badge, so you know. But you know this beluga whale is there, and more. My advice to you, if you want to be legendary friends, you know what I'm going to say, right? You got to entertain the beluga whale, man. Because most...
No. I'm not going to be the
Hear me out. So, oftentimes, and this is going to blow your mind maybe, but I think we kind of know this. If you have 3 hot girls, 1 beluga whale, why do you think she's there? What's her function within a group dynamic? Given what I told you, every girl is narcissistic. It's about what's good for me. Why is she there? You know. Be honest, brutally honest.
Because she's the one that can be the worst. Yes.
You're thinking too far.
And she can also be bullied.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, wait. I'm thinking one
logistics.
Male brain, wait.
Logistics. How do they get there?
Who? The beluga whale?
No, older girls.
No, I don't know, taxi? What do you mean?
In general terms, how do people go out?
Together?
Yes. Which vehicle?
Huh?
Which vehicle?
Public transport?
No.
What do you mean?
In the Netherlands. Car.
Car, okay.
Who has to drive that?
Oh.
Because what do girls want to do? What do girls want to do?
Drink.
Oh, the girls want to have fun. How do we have fun? Get white girl wasted.
Yeah.
Can we get white girl wasted if I have to drive? Hell no.
Yeah.
So why is she there?
Yeah, I didn't think
No, wait. No, I'm going to loop everything together.
To drive.
No, but if she doesn't have a good time, what's she going to do the whole night?
Who? The beluga whale?
Yeah, if she got to ignore the whole night. No entertainment, no guys looking at her, no guys stepping up to her. All her girlfriends are making out, whatever, blah, blah. Disappearing to the toilet, having fun. She's getting ignored. What you think she's gonna do the whole night? Nag them, can we go?
All right.
That's literally what she's gonna do. I've seen it. Another thing is protection, because she's kind of the bodyguard. No, I'm serious. She's like the biggest cock blocker out there.
Yeah.
It's always the big guy, the big girl.
Yeah, so
No, but I'm gonna tie everything in a nice bow for you. So you're gonna be like, oh, that's
yes,
why.
but for me, it's
wait.
different.
I'm gonna tie everything together.
Okay.
So she's the bodyguard, but also logistics. So if she says we go, the girls are kind of fucked. They're on a timer.
Yeah.
Well, again, we're talking about generalities. If she's a fucking her, yeah, she can stay, be a souvenir for the city, and stay behind with a guy. 2 girls can stay. But is it always just only one of the 4 or 5 that's kind of slutty? But most of the time, they go together. Especially these days, they are not like first night days in different cities. They don't do that. It's like a little bit too adventurous. In my days, it happens all the time. In nowadays, what I've seen, not that often in a different city. So she'll eventually get tired and sick and tired of no action. So she just want to go home, call it a night. It's not my day. Fuck this shit, happens over time. Every single time, I should have known better. Becky's just mean, but actually I have no other friends and they are kind of popular, so without them I don't get male attention. Blah, 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 blah. Right?
And I also need to go to the gym.
Whatever, they will never do that. So she is kind of an important component for you and your mate, your buddy. Although you might ignore that, and that's coming back to my illustration if you want to be a legendary wingman and how it's also going to be benefiting you. What do you think is going to happen if that person really likes you?
Also going to stay.
No, but think further.
Well, would want to get some action?
No.
Yes?
Not like this. next location, because she's the car.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
gonna tell her, hey, we're gonna go to the after party. It's there and there. I'm driving your. Are you guys with the? Oh, you go with the car. Oh, cool. You're fine to drive. Yeah, it's just a few minutes. We have like pizza, tequila there. Awesome view, high, 20 high. Have you ever seen like the skyscraper of Brara, skyline of this city? Oh, really? Yeah, it's close. I won't even order pizza. It's gonna be fine. You hungry? You're hungry. Yeah.
Always hungry.
Pepperoni
Yeah.
pizza. Let's go. So she, because she's the protective, bodyguard, she's gonna be ready to go, but she thinks she'll get some action. And she don't give a fuck if they come or not, because she's a vehicle. And then you're gonna be like, yeah, but they're the group, like Becky's the group leader, right? Wow, she's always into fun. You're like, oh my God, fun, after blah. She's already lit. And you, being a funny guy, because you get along with her, because nobody get along with the beluga whale. And you do. What does it say about you?
W wingman.
But also, why is he not interested in me as Becky? Because she's quote unquote the most attractive one. You ignored it kind of the whole night, but every guy you didn't.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen is very interesting dynamic. I'm just portraying this little example. She'll grow attraction for you. Because girls don't like when you like them. It's kind of an allergic reaction. The more you don't like them, the more you diss them. And this is gonna be a different stream because this already very elongated stream. The more you dislike them, they will like you.
Yeah.
To finish my example, you just being a legendary wingman, you are kind of set yourself up for success. Because now everyone of the group likes you. Because you just played the whole dynamic correctly. And you moved on to the next station. Everything you want to do is next station, next station. Right? That's what we do. And sometimes along the way it fails. Sure, we never get to the next station, or we only get the Instagram. Doesn't matter. Interaction, how they met you, is what's important. Because let's say we never get to the next station, right? We just in the club. Becky's like, hey, we just have to go because she struck out with the guy she wanted the chat. Remember your friend?
Yeah.
That the Pokemon badges. He was making out with 2 other girls. So obviously Becky is like, yeah, this sucks. We're gonna go, right? And she wanna go. And then the other girls are like, yeah, I know. They didn't find their guy, but they wanna go. So 3 of the 4 wanna go, and the 4 are like, but so your friend tried to succeed, but it didn't work. Struck out. But you at the whole time, because you were the wingman, entertained the rest of the 4.
But then if someone who's using this strategy and is not doing it by learning, then they are 100% psychopathic. Not psychopathic, sociopathic. 100%.
If they know exactly what to do.
Yes.
But they won't do this.
Yes, but
This is very cognitive. This is not unnatural.
Someone who does this cognitively is definitely sociopathic.
It's not sociopath.
Yes.
It's just what you do.
Okay, look, I searched up the stats, and this also says sociopathic people are draw people in who doubt themselves, the beluga whale, yes. Have low self-esteem, yes. Crave validation, definitely. And are isolated, yes, isolated, because she's the bodyguard. She's not doing anything. They are isolated from the other parts.
Yeah,
of the
but
group.
that's when they do it naturally.
But this is 4 stats they said for people who have sociopathic
No. I'm
tendencies.
saying that's when it comes naturally. I'm saying this is trained.
Yeah, well, trained. Yes, this is.
I have never known this until I knew this.
This is definitely working.
No, I'm saying I've never known this until I've seen this. I'm saying also but regardless, so they meet you as this guy who's friends with everyone.
Social.
So they like you, they all like you. It's important for them all to like you, because you have equal chances with all of them now. Especially with the hot one, because she kind of ignored her the whole night.
Yeah.
See? So even though you sacrificed yourself, took one for the team, right? And the girl was kind of glazing on you, or taking your fat, as they call it in Chinese. You know what we ever say in Chinese?
No.
When, you know how guys and girls touch the other sex
No?
when they like them?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah, physical.
when you make a joke and a colleague's like, Bale, you're so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
That, we call it scraping fat from that person.
How do you say it?
Scraping fat, translated.
Chinese?
Yeah.
How do you say it in Chinese?
Scraping grease.
Yeah, but how do you say it in Chinese?
Yeah. Kayo. So scraping grease.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get it, kind of? The
Yeah,
why
yeah,
that
yeah,
make
yeah,
it makes so
yeah.
much sense. And you don't have this in English, that term, that what they do.
Yeah.
Guys do the same, you know, like in the back, lower back of the girl, lead her, whatever. We also do that. Like go in for the hug, for attract, you know, like those kind of things.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay, guys, by the way, don't do that. These attraction, well, basically that activity, scraping grease, it's only allowed for girls to do that to you. You don't to do that to them. Only go in if they already went in, if that makes sense. Everything should be voluntary from them. You never ever wanna appear to be in the eyes of the girl, remember, like that she sees you, that you see her as the only and so one. Let me rephrase this. In her, when she observes you, you must appear at all times that you have infinite amount of selection and options, and she's just one of them.
But you don't want to say it.
No, for sure not. It must appear so. However you do it, you know. Might be you have a very attractive female friend, and you're gonna call me a sociopath again. Very attractive female friend. And she just walks up two sets of two beautiful women. She's like, psh. I have this friend of me, I'm trying to like date him. I really like him, but somehow he just never want to do it. Like, is it me? What's wrong with you guys? Like girls, what do you guys think? Make a whole convo. How she's getting rejected by this guy. Enter Balint, the guy. And she's like, he's coming. And then you come. She just instantly amplified your chances with both of them by just saying this one thing.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works, right?
Yeah.
Again, W wing moment. That's why you need female friends that get it, high IQ, not low IQ. Yeah, like, we appreciate you girls for your attractiveness and the aura you give us when we walk on the streets with you guys. I'm very thankful for this blessing and your grace to be amongst
Great
us.
accessory.
Whoa, bro. And you know this, and some guys know this. There is no greater feeling in the world when a guy that don't look, he can get that girl or girls to walk beside that girls, and they give you like positive signals. There's no feeling in the world how other, like, I'm gonna give you a scenario. This is relatable. When I give this scenario, every guy gets it. No girl gets it. They're like, what the fuck? Huh? What do you mean? So here I was with this girl. She's like 19 at that time. Very attractive. She's like in all standards. She's like at an 8. All standards, Western, Asian, whatever. Her Caribbean, 8. She at that point is just a friend, right? We had to make a pit stop. I come with my car. It's electric. I stop next to the gas line, tank station. It's very obvious. My car's obvious. You've seen it?
Yeah.
It's obvious. I stopped there. It was a summer day, glowing hot sun, right? And the girl was wearing a reflective top, white pants. Yeah, you know, white pants. Yeah, ballet knows, guys know, bros know. I went in to get us some drinks because I don't need to tank because there's electricity. The girl just went out of my car. She leaned on a motor cap and lights on a fucking cigarette. I know, because we all know when we look back to my car and the girl, everyone was looking at her. But the moment, like, and obviously I came back, gave the drink, she gave me a hug, came back to the car. I just know all the guys just wanna fucking stab me. Well, both the things. They wanna congratulate and stab me at the same time. There's no greater feeling in the world that people just give like question marks, like, huh? Get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And the same, another time, we like two models, literally they are actual functional models. One 6 feet, heels on, dress, me, little 5'4" max, a good day. I walked through the street. Every single guy thought I was a drug dealer. Because how else could it be? He must be a drug dealer. It's a good feeling, I like this.
Yeah.
And it's another example. We went to a club. Oh, by the way, you can't really apply this anymore, and that's why I'm freely telling you this, because it's fucking hard to duplicate this, because nobody goes out anymore. But back in my day, whenever I had to go out, because there was social media, 4 girls, all heels, all dresses, 4 different ethnicities also, very tall. For sure, most attractive in the club. I dropped the middle in the club.
You do the what?
Middle in the dance floor. I left them there. Like, hey, girls, have fun. I'm gonna check around, because I saw them like dancing. And like, yeah, have fun. Literally, what's gonna happen? Social experiments. Well, it will happen, and you know it will happen. They are like sharks, circling them, and you literally see them, but one for one, shot down, went in, shot down, went in, shot down, went in, shot down. But if they are all in a circle amongst these girls, who's giving all the girls attention? If the guys with the biggest balls, right? Because they obviously gonna give their shots with the attractive girl. What's gonna happen with the rest of the girls in the club?
Yeah. So
No, literally. Give this exercise entertainment. They're gonna be ignored, right?
Yeah.
Well, what am I gonna do?
Shark.
Entertain the rest.
The wave too.
No, but anyway, but then, as I was going to the restroom one moment, every single guy I met shook my head. They're like, bro, who are you? What's your name? What you do? Blah, 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 blah. Some of them thought I was a drug dealer. Everywhere I go, they think I'm a fucking drug dealer. I don't do drugs, guys. I don't sell drugs. Don't come to me for drugs. I don't have it. At one point, we had a whole discussion in Amsterdam. The guy was like following us. He's like, why don't you allow, like, bro, give me some. Why don't you give me the good stuff, man? You have it. I know you have. Why are you like this? Don't be so suck up. You have enough to share. I see it. You, like, just because I've, like, literally, like, bro, I have no drugs. I have nothing to give you. Like, bro, I'm good for the money, man. I can give you. You know, like, why are you like this? Why don't you want me to have a good time too? You're having a good time. Why am I not allowed? Like, literally a whole discussion over. And I'm trying to convince them, like, bro, I don't have nothing with me. I can point you to some people who might have it. I'm not a guy. But coming back, so there's no greater feeling in that sense that it's a big status signal where you're surrounded or amongst, especially if a short Asian guy. And I think we'll leave at this because, and that's a good topic for the next stream, but not tomorrow, but another time, how playing a game on the hardest mode of the hard mode, because you know this, right? So Asians are the least desirable of all ethnicities. Well, maybe slight above Indians, no offense.
Slight above what?
Indians, like, thank you, come again. Pakistani. Maybe slight above, I don't know. Maybe. We're like,
Probably.
Asians. Huh?
Yeah, probably, definitely.
Yeah, well. Anyways, with the lowest sort of suitable, and then obviously, like I said, height is one of the most important determinators of mating for a female. For them, it's like because they think superficially, and it makes sense, right? They think taller guy, higher protect. We're gonna boil it down why you still have a chance, guys. It's like short kings, let's go. I'm gonna give you pointers that how it still works, because thanks for the advancement of technology, also, height doesn't say anything about protection or provisioning at all. Because the state already took care of that. So what's left? Other dials we talked about. And we're gonna dive in next time. But to leave with, because what was I talking about?
What?
Status.
Next-
Oh yeah,
next
status. Yeah, status. But so somehow, some way, I kind of gave a lot of things why female friends can be beneficial. But that just comes to prove why you have to make an effort. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. Especially if your double digits IQ is gonna be harder. But it's not impossible, it can be done. You're gonna have to make a new category in your mind for females. So, fuck only zone, recreational use only. Wife zone is only a few. I haven't met mine. Maybe I have had, I don't know, different timing. And the friend zone, which come really natural for female, for guys, very hard. Because we are gladly, well, or like I say we, not you, because he's just a chat, but into the other side. Our natural in the room. Most guys will gladly sit patiently in the friend zone, hoping for one day. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with this, and then we'll wrap up. Hope for one day will succeed. She'll give me a chance. Let me tell you this. There is a saying I always say, and people close to me know this saying even goes. You want to chase the waterfalls, not the Sahara. If by the initial meeting, the situation is not a waterfall, exit chat. Literally. Remember what I said, how she met you is really important, how she gets to know you is really important. If, like, this is going to be like very visual, but guys know, let's say, when we taste the fruit, it should already be moist. This is not to be moisturized. Really important distinction. And if you ever get there, because even let's say you get there, right? You go for, there's fourth base, right? Fourth base, 1, 2, 3, 4 base. Final base.
I have no idea what.
First base is like kissing.
Oh.
Second, yeah,
I don't know.
You know the energy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when you get to the final destination with that girl, said girl, slay the dragon, glorify the, whatever, had the diet of the glorified pussy. It shouldn't be that it came, well, obviously, situations differ, but from experience and from what we have heard and gathered the information, basically, always, because when there is a waterfall, that means the situation is already flowing and she already see you as such, as a desirable partner. And you want to start out, because this episode and stream is about like red pill and dating, you want to start out your interaction and dynamic already in a positive way. So it's already flowing, as a nice analogy, smooth sailing. And you cannot smooth sail on a desert, on a half river. You should have a whole ocean wave. Because in all other cases, it might succeed, because I know some people need to warm up, get comfortable, need time, take time, and I get it, totally fine, sure. And nobody's gonna fault you if you wanna wait. Do you? But a major green flag, boys, gentlemen, fellas, bros, search always for the waterfall, never for the desert. If you get an inclination, there is no initial interactions, no physical attraction or attraction triggers, attraction cues, or any indications you want to just hop on your spirit, like literally coming back to the time that is very scarce and valuable to us. Save yourself, because this is the same time you can then spend whether to create more resources in exchange to get more time, but also find option that maybe, and you never know, be an waterfall. So don't waste your time. Eliminate time wasters, as they call it, or resource drainers early. Just escape, abandon. I know, like, you're gladly in the friend zone. Sure, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But why wait to see when you already can invest your time elsewhere better, who might be the waterfall we talk about. What's a popular waterfall?
What do you mean?
The name of a waterfall, popular one.
Niagara Falls.
Yeah. You want to find your, what, Niagara Falls?
Niagara Falls.
You want to find your Niagara Falls. And not the Sahara there. Avoid that with a plague. With that, how many hours are we streaming? Like 2?
3.
What? Holy shit, how are you awake?
I don't know.
I thought you were gonna be critical, but we'll go in the reactions soon.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Don't agree, doesn't matter. Hate me, whatever. It's my observation. See you the next time. Peace. Why didn't you tell me?
What?